Get more done.
Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One Coat Hide Color Collection.
You have the choice. Whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant or buying that new outfit from a local business, choices help to put money back in your community. Town Square Media South Jersey proudly puts a spotlight on local businesses.
Smokers Haven. Visit SmokersHavenNJ.com for a full line of fine tobacco and accessories. Dr. Lyle M. Back. For everything from skincare to cosmetic surgery, go to ILoveLyleBack.com. Kindle Auto Plaza, the area's best selection of Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer. Off exit 10 on the Parkway on Stone Harbor Boulevard. Call 609-465-5000 or KindleAutoplaza.com. Philly Marble and the Philly Marble and Tile Outlet, Philadelphia Avenue and Route 30 in Egg Harbor City. Visit PhillyMarble.com. And Ambient Comfort Heating and Cooling Professionals, AmbientComfortNJ.com.
Thank you for supporting your local businesses from Town Square Media South Jersey.
Shop the Home Depot for fall savings. Get up to $1,600 off select appliances like Samsung. How doers get more done. Valid 9/26 to 10/16. U.S. only.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Tune in to the Bet365 Play of the Day during the Sports Bash with me, Mike Gill, every weekday afternoon at 5:45 on 97.3 ESPN. Made possible by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They got him again!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Tipped in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
Yeah. 97.3 ESPN presents The Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
When I'm driving, I got a guy on the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me.
Now, live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Mike Gill.
We are live on a Thursday edition of the Sports Bash at Chickies and Pete's at the Tropicana in Atlantic City. You know, it's starting to get that Red October feel as the Mets and Brewers go to Game 3. You can hear the game tonight on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app powered by First Bank Castile. Game 3 tonight, Phillies and Mets, and the winner, Mets and Brewers, and the Phillies will face the winner of that series on Saturday right here on 97.3 ESPN. What's up, everybody? We've got, the baseball has been great. The baseball has been really good. You know, PG, you texted last night. These wild cards are bringing you nothing. I don't know if you're watching these wild cards.
Well, at the time, they weren't giving me anything.
Well, come on. Every game, you had a 2-1 game with the Orioles and the Royals.
Well, now that's a problem for me because the Orioles, the Royals advanced on to the ALDS by scoring only 3 runs.
Yeah, but you had some tension. It's a 1-0 game and a 2-1 game. I mean, those were great games. That's what you need.
Yeah, the intensity is there. I needed a game 3, and the Brewers came through for me.
You got a game 3, only one. Last night, the Braves, they got back into it. They're down 5-3. Harris hits the home run, makes it 5-4. So you get a 1-run game in the 9th there. You get the Detroit Tigers. They have moved on. You know, the Detroit Tigers, I was listening to Hembo earlier today, and he said something that really stood out to me. He said their bullpen is like the 2015 Royals bullpen on steroids, basically saying how good their bullpen is and why the Tigers are a legit threat in the American League. So it has been a really good playoffs. We've had great stories, and tonight the story, gets potentially finished by the Mets and the Brewers moving on. And if the Mets win that series, I was just talking here at Chickies and Pete's, and I was mentioning, hey, Saturday you guys are going to have the game on with the sound, right? And they assured me that the game will not only be on, the sound will be on too. And I said, well, what kind of crowd do you anticipate on a Saturday at 4:00? And he basically looked at me and was like, packed. This place is going to be packed. They've been having huge crowds with the Mets fans coming in here.
Bet. Yeah, the Mets fans.
You get a lot of the Mets fans coming down here using the sports book and everything. So Phillies fans, you got to flood this place this weekend if it's Mets-Phillies, which, listen, if you're asking me which matchup I prefer, Mets-Brewers would be the better path, but you don't think having a Mets-Phillies game, the juice with that game wouldn't be unbelievable, that series?
Now, my whole thing is I just don't want the Mets fans to invade Citizens Bank Park.
You think they will?
And ruin Red October.
You think that the Phillies fans would
I'm just a little scared about that.
You think they would acquiesce their tickets to the Mets?
Me and Josh were talking about this. We were likening it to the Knicks series against the Sixers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And how that transformed.
Well, we talked about that a little bit yesterday on the Nuggets. And the difference was, like, the Sixers fans, I think, are like so tired, and the way that they had lost the game in New York and then coming to Philadelphia, it was kind of a sinking feeling when that all happened. And I think the Phillies fans are so much more optimistic maybe than the Sixers fans were at that time.
Mike, I was telling Pete before the show, I said, to me, Sixer fans have a malaise over them, where there's so much of the fan base that's like, we don't believe in you until you get out of the second round.
Yeah, it's understandable.
So
and then you lose, but they lost in New York, and it was like a bad loss in New York. If memory serves, it was a bad loss in New York.
Yeah,
I think they were down 0-2, right?
They were down 0-2, and there were a lot of people who believed
the Nick Nurse I called timeout game.
Yeah, it was a terrible loss the way they lost that game.
They should have won the game, but
and
they
now
lost.
You're down 0-2. I think the fans were kind of like, I don't believe in this. And that wasn't even a second round game.
That was
a first round game.
Yeah.
So I do think, now listen, I've been to Phillies Mets games plenty of times. And as Cole and LBI, one of our great listeners who lives up in the Ocean County, upper Ocean County area, LBI kind of stretches the whole way. Where do you live, Cole? LBI, that's like the whole damn county down there. The Mets fans do infiltrate Citizens Bank Park at a high rate.
That is true. It's
they
a fact.
do. They do. Oh, I've been there. And he said it. He goes, those Mets fans will be on that third base dugout in full. So that would be a bad job by the Phillies fans if that happens.
Well, if you're strapped for cash, are you going to sell your Red October tickets for a profit to a Mets fan just to pay for your car insurance this month? Or
I can't
are
tell
you going to show up?
I can't tell people how to spend their money. I can't tell people how to
Make
invest their money. Right. This is an investment for people sometimes. You buy tickets to invest a profit on the tickets. And sometimes you don't care whose hands they end up in. If you're putting them on your favorite ticket brokerage site, you don't know who's getting those tickets. So you could put them on your StubHub or your TickPick or your SeatGeek or whatever app you like to use, you don't know who's buying those tickets. All you're prospering from is the profit on the other side. But do you believe this series would be too big? Now, I don't want to jump ahead of ourselves because the Brewers last night looked dead in the water, and all of a sudden the Brewhahas come back and win that game in like historic fashion.
A pinch hit home run by that guy Mitchell.
Pinch hit home run, but the 2 home runs in the game, that kid's unbelievable. He's 20 years old.
Oh, Cheerio, yeah.
20 years old he is. He hits a home run in the first inning, hits another home run later in the game. The Mets look like they're going to win that game, and then all of a sudden crash down. Here come the Brewers. Is that the kind of game that deflates the Mets? Is that the kind of game that, they finally, we keep talking about baseball and the momentum of baseball. I was trying to explain this. Now, you know my girlfriend, Heidi, pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I was explaining because she was asking me today about all this. The Phillies aren't playing and the Mets are playing. And I said, the Mets have played, they played Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doubleheader Monday. They played Tuesday.
All on the
Wednesday,
road, too, by the way.
Thursday, right.
They haven't played at Citi Field in a long time.
So there is something that the Phillies have not played. They've been sitting out. Now, yesterday they played a simulated game, but they did not play Monday, Tuesday. They played a simulated game Wednesday. They will not play Thursday. They will not play Friday. The next time the Phillies will play a game will be Wednesday. But I guess the question is all this traveling and all these games, has it finally caught up to the Mets? And I don't know about that.
Maybe it catches up to them. It caught up to the Braves. I'll tell you that much.
Well, the Braves
they got swept right on out of there.
The Braves are the ultimate egg on your face.
Yeah.
You have complained for 2 years that sitting out the wild card round was a disadvantage to them. And then they play in the wild card round and they get swept right on out of there. Now, to be fair, this wasn't the best Braves team. They had so many injuries, and that Padres team is pretty darn good.
But they still lost 8 of their last 10 playoff games to the Braves. So it's like, okay, so even if they were at their best, is there any guarantee they would have won anyway?
I don't feel for them. See you later, Braves. I have no problem with that. Yeah, I mean, listen, me personally, I would prefer to play every day. I personally would like to play every day. I don't like to take the time off.
Rest versus rust.
Yeah, and by the way, Rob Thompson kind of insinuated it the other day, So a couple things came out of Rob Thompson's Zoom interview. I did watch it last night. I think he's really leaning towards Christopher Sanchez pitching game 2.
Good.
You all right with that?
That's a good call. Nola in game 3 on the road, it would be.
Yep, it would be Sanchez in game 2, and he mentioned the splits. And if our boy Nicky Nuggets is listening, I wonder what your reaction is to that there, Nugs, because we've been battling on this one. And I'm not saying it's what I would potentially do. I would probably do it. I would probably pitch Sanchez in 2 and Nola in 3. But it's not because I think Sanchez is better than Nola. It's because I think Sanchez is more comfortable at home than he is on the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I've talked about this before. And listen, sometimes you're coaching a kid and his best position is second base. But I have a lot of kids that can't play anybody else but second base. And even though you're my best second baseman, everybody else can't play anywhere else. I at least trust you playing, say, third base, even though second is your best position. So I'm going to move you, my best second baseman, to third because I can't put one of those other second basemen that can barely play second over at third. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that Nola isn't better than Sanchez. I think he is. It's just that Nola is more comfortable in more situations than Sanchez is.
Exactly.
So I think that Rob Thompson's going to pitch Sanchez in game 2. And I don't know if it's Rob Thompson's. I don't think he has the autonomy decision there. I think it's an organizational decision. I think they've sat down, they've looked at the numbers, and they're saying, look, the splits are what they are. The splits are pretty clear. Sanchez, and by the way, Sanchez is better at Citizens Bank Park than Nola is. And quite frankly, it's not close.
Now, what does that mean for game 4?
They said Suarez.
Suarez is game 4
I think Rob Thompson said
no
yesterday,
Wheeler on short rest.
The only way I could see Wheeler maybe on short rest is if it's an elimination game.
On the Philly side, if they're up 2-1, or if they're down,
if
they're down 2-1.
If they're down 2-1, maybe, and they're trying to stave off elimination, maybe you go. But they have not done that in the past, and The problem with the Suarez thing is he's such an unknown at this point.
That's the problem.
And he's historically been one of the best pitchers
Your
in Major
go-to
League
guy.
Baseball history, right?
Yes.
But in the playoffs, Suarez has been statistically speaking, one of the best pitchers in baseball history, his ERA and all that stuff. So they got some really tough decisions.
Okay, then Suarez on a short leash, 2 innings.
I think so.
3 innings.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
I would agree with that. I definitely think 609-403-0973, 609-403-0973. A couple text messages. By the way, Cole in LBI, he did check in. He says he lives in exit 63, so that's closer than I thought. Yeah. He says Manahawkin.
Yeah, Cole also goes on to say, Mike, you know me, I'm not a huge Nola fan as a number 2, but I think Nola's the better veteran pitcher and can handle the road game and pitch way better than another team's number 3.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, to me, what's your comfort zone? And Christopher Sanchez, it's clear his comfort zone is much better at Citizens Bank Park than it is on the road. His ERA on the road is in the 5s.
Right. So why not lean into it? Be like, hey, this is your lane. Stay in your lane and go do the job and win us the game.
I guess the question I would have is, and this is for all the Philly fans out there, do we really think that Christopher Sanchez is like a team that wins the World Series with Christopher Sanchez having that important of a role? Like, are we at the point where we trust him that much? I mean, this kid came out of nowhere.
Take it back to Ranger in the playoffs in 22 and really 23. He was kind of an unknown, and he came in and closed things out.
That's a great point that you bring up there, Pete. But they kind of worked him into these situations to now where you trust him. But you're right, you got to start somewhere. But now you're saying, hey, you're not working into these situations. You're the number 2 guy. You're getting, and that means you're pitching against the other team's next best guy, which elevates everything. Like, it elevates the intensity of the game. It elevates, like, hey, the game might be 0-0 in the 3rd. And look, Sanchez has been very good. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs. If his changeup is working, you do trust that he can keep the ball down and keep you in a game. But look, it just adds to all this stuff with whether you play the Phillies, whether you play the Brewers or the Mets here. Couple other things. Yesterday, Rob Thompson wasn't clear on the Austin Hayes, Marsh, Rojas triangle in the outfield. He didn't really give a definitive answer on what's going to happen there. So I will be very intrigued at 4 o'clock. Now, the lineup should come out before 4 o'clock, obviously. But what does that lineup look like when it comes out at about 2:30 on Saturday afternoon? Now, a left-handed pitcher will likely go if it's the Mets.
Right, because tonight is going to be Quintana is going to be the pitcher for tonight for the Mets.
Yeah, well, I guess if the Mets win, let's see. That series started Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you want to start
Peterson,
Severino on short rest to start that series, he would be starting on 4 days, right?
Peterson is
right.
the other guy.
So then Severino possibly would pitch on Sunday, and then Minaya, you're getting the left-hander. Then you're getting into that lefty situation in New York. So that's another thing is the Mets have those 2 lefties that they can throw at you. The Brewers don't have that. And the Brewers don't really have that top of the rotation number 1 guy that handcuffs you. You know what I mean? Like
the Brewers bullpen and pitching staff is almost like duct tape. It's almost like spare parts built into a mod car.
I don't think the Brewers thought that they were supposed to be a 93-win team this year.
Absolutely not.
Well, listen, the Cheerios came up, and that was he's 20 years old. They did not think he was going to come up and infuse this kind of life into this team.
Yeah, he's turning into a star.
Yelich went down. He's injured.
Yeah, well, they lost the manager, right?
They traded away Corbin Burns.
Burns went to Baltimore. So they kind of felt like, hey, we're going to kind of take a step back this year. And here they are in the playoffs again. It's a fun matchup. I'm glad that it went to 3 games. Now, there's the other part of it. I'd ask this question. If you're a Phillies fan and you're on the side of, you've been sitting out for days, would you have rathered the series get over and then the Mets had to sit out Thursday and Friday? That would be 2 days off for them. Or is that not enough?
I don't think that's enough.
I like the fact they went to a third game because now Quintana has to pitch today, and now you push him down the road.
And their
I
bullpen would
agree.
be more taxed.
I agree with that. I'm just, I agree with the fact because you just brought up the point, Josh. Now you have to use Quintana, so he can't pitch on Saturday or Sunday.
That was
so
my
he's out.
Mike. That was my biggest concern going into Saturday. Was we're going to face Quintana on Saturday, and now Quintana gets pitched tonight. It's almost like thank God.
You would probably now miss Minaya and Quintana in Philadelphia.
Correct.
So now Severino, I think the last time he pitched against the Phillies pretty much shut you out. I mean, I think they played 7 times in the last. I'm trying. A lot of those games kind of blended into each other,
And they've never played in the postseason.
never, not
Never.
once. 63
Not
years,
one time.
not once.
The last start
That's
for Severino against the Phillies, Mike.
Yep.
Actually, he started twice against the Phillies last month. In the previous start, he went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs. Gave up 3 runs in both games. So he was solid, but he wasn't dominant.
609-403-0973. Guys, I said it a few days ago. Wheeler and Sanchez at home. Nola game 3. Ranger game 4. If, and look, I think a lot of people, I don't know about a lot of people, we've been talking about it a little bit here and there. Is that the way you go? Is that the way you kind of lean? We're going to talk to Frank Close, 97.3 ESPN.com, the mailbag, coming up at 2:30 today. Mike, did you narrow down your Saturday Phillies viewing places with the sound on?
You did.
We should have a Mount Rushmore or a top 3 at least. Well, I do have an article going to 97.3 ESPN.com with a lot of the answers. Now, I will say this, okay? Did I rank them in a Mount Rushmore fashion? I did not, but I will say I am at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City. I was at Chickies and Pete's in EHT last week, and it's not just because I'm here. I could certainly endorse watching at this place because, and these are the reasons why I'll give. I have been here for a game before, so I can vouch for it. Some of the places on the list on the website I have not been to. I'm taking the listeners' word for it, okay? But
now, are you looking for an elbow-to-elbow type place?
That's a good question.
Or
am I looking for a crowd?
Yes. The atmosphere, every pitch.
That's a really good question.
Home run. Yeah. The whole place goes up.
Yeah, when you go out to watch the game, do you want a crowd? Do you want it to be packed? Or do you want to have your space? That's a good question.
I mean, because I'm a big personal space guy, but I also am a big atmosphere scene type of guy. So
yeah, I didn't think of that.
See,
like when we watched the game, in the World Series in 22, I tell the story yesterday. You weren't here, but we watched the game in Cape May at a spot, and it was a good crowd. Space though, because there was enough room in the place. And they had the sound on. Got to have the sound on.
But
right?
Enough people to high five.
Enough people to high five, but not shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow.
And easily, you get a drink easily.
Easily to get a drink. Yes.
Right.
Now, last year, watched this is during the weekends. I'm not out during the week watching these games. So whatever games fell on the weekend last year, I'm out at a place. They had the game on. They had the sound on. But it wasn't loud enough that you could really hear what they were saying. That's another thing. If the sound is on, you got to be able to hear it to where everyone is quiet because they're listening. If the sound is on and you can't hear it, then people start to talk, and then you start to lose focus on the game.
Right. Is it a social thing, or is it more to go to a spot and watch the game?
Well, I will say this. We've made a decision on where we're going. Now,
it's a great call, by the way. It's a great choice.
We have made the decision on where we're going. So, without telling the people where the answer is yet.
It's just a nice little excursion.
I want my friends that are listening in Delaware. Where is the place to go in Delaware? Because I will tell you, I will be on that ferry this weekend. I have made the decision. I've never done this before. I want to watch with the people in the first state. The Phillies fans of Delaware, I want to watch the game with you guys. And that's what I will do. Now, where is the place to go in Delaware to watch the game? Now, I have narrowed it down to 3 choices. And I would like to see if any of my 3 choices make the list of the 302ers.
That's a good way to do it. Just crowdsource.
It's what we do on this show.
Yeah.
That's how I found the Tonewood Fuego.
Oh, I do like that Tonewood. I do like that Tonewood beer.
All right. My friends in Delaware, 609-403-0973. That's the text number. Where is the spot I should go? Now, I know I have 3 spots in my head that we are deciding on. Now, I'm looking more in the beach area. Now, my question is, with the beach area, is there going to be a crowd, or is it going to be dead as a doornail down there?
It's going to be nice. It's going to be
supposed to be like
high
80
70s,
degrees.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be nice. It's a 4 o'clock game. You should get a good local little push out there. Now, I will put my article up with all the spaces that were recommended, but that guy who asked for my Mount Rushmore, I will tell you, it's hard to beat. Where we're sitting right now, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have 18 televisions in my site where I'm sitting.
Now, some of those are going to be on college football games, I have to imagine.
You believe?
You believe there's going to be 18 of these TVs all tuned to the Phillies and Brewers Mets games.
See, a 302 text came in.
That's Delaware area code.
Penn State plays early in the day. What other college, Josh, what's the college football? Is there a big 3:30 game that people would want on?
Always is.
Not this week. I don't think
there's a lot of teams on buys this week.
Yeah, I don't think this is a week. Oh, I've been to that place, Mr. 302. I've been to that spot. Had lunch there. Last time I was in Delaware, the guy texted in. The spot he just texted in, 302. Now, a lot of 302s are going to start coming in. 609-403-0973.
To your original question, Mike, the biggest game at 3:30 this Saturday is going to be the Georgia-Auburn game. It's probably going to be the biggest eyeball game.
Does that pull you?
I mean, I believe you probably got to have that on a few of the TVs. Now, Sunday's a different story.
All right,
with the
so
NFL.
put it this way. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I didn't count those 2 TVs over there and those 2 over there. That TV there will have the Phillies game on. Maybe the ones next to it go college football.
I think so. Now, again, Sunday's a different story.
Yeah, but if you're
Sunday late games, that's got to be half and half.
Sunday, you have a little bit more because you got the football. Although it's not a great NFL schedule this week. I'm not missing a lot of 4 o'clock games for that Phillies game. Now, I will say, the ferry times are not conducive to getting home in time for that Phillies game. So now we're going to have to make the drive all the way around to get home by 4 o'clock.
That's your call.
I think so. Because the early ferry is like 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's too early.
And then the next ferry after that is 2:45.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, where's like the 10 or 11 choice there,
Yeah.
J.J. Lewis? Can you help me out? Can you
You
help
have
a
like a
brother?
12 o'clock choice.
Yeah, like a 10:30. That's fine. And on the way down there, there's a 9, there's a 10, there's a couple going to Lewis. But on the way back, they only have like an 8 o'clock and a 2:45, which gets you May at 4:10. That first pitch, 4:08. You put me in no man's
You're going to
land.
have to go to GameCast for that one.
All right, Sports Pass Live. Speaking of the Phillies, our Phillies insider Frank Close is up next with a Phillies mailbag edition you don't want to miss. It's here, live from Chickies and Pete's, your home for Philadelphia Eagles football and Philadelphia Phillies playoff baseball, 97.3 ESPN.
When you need the best Phillies coverage, there's only one place to get it.
3-1. This one hammered left field and deep. Watching it go is Kelnick home run. JT Real Muto.
The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card, good for use at Provenza Restaurant and Event Center on Wellington Avenue in Ventnor for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
SeizeTheDeal.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
The holidays are here, and the Home Depot has everything you need to stay connected with smart home upgrades. Whether you're keeping an eye out for the big guy or keeping an eye on your family, the Home Depot has you covered with great tech, like the Ring Indoor Camera 2-pack with advanced motion detection, two-way talk, and color night vision. Plus, get your smart home devices the smart way with free delivery. Get holiday ready with seasonal savings happening now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about this secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Take 10 grand off MSRP. 0% for 72 months. 0 payments for 90 days. Or 2 new Matt Blatt Kias for $222. You don't need a sports betting app. Get you Matt Blatt Kia and be a winner. You heard right. 10 grand off MSRP. And 0% for 72 months. 0 down. Or 0 payments for 90 days. On every clearly marked EV in stock. Currently stuck in a loan or lease? We want to get you a leased new 24 Kia Forte LXS. Just $111 per month lease. Why not get 2 for $222?
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
With approved credit, take grand off customer cash and dealer discount. EV9, $38,900 per thousand through KMF. 24 months, $111 per month, 10,000 miles per year, $49.50 due. Not all will qualify. Offers can't be combined. Go to mattblattkianj.com for complete details or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes through KMF.
Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township,
And on Route 37 in Toms River.
You're listening to The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, streaming live video on the X platform at Mike Gill Show. Use the hashtag SBLive and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show to watch us. We got a lot of people texting in from the 302, letting us know where to go. Paul in Rehoboth Beach, I see you there. his spots that he listed were not on my list. I have not even heard of those places, but I'm going to do the research. And pick the best spot. And we'll see you down there at the 302 this weekend. All right, Frank Close, 97.3 ESPN.com, Phillies Insider. It's a special Red October edition of the Phillies Mailbag with Frank Close. You can get your questions in at 609-403-0973. We'll read off some of the mailbag questions here. Frank, got a lot of questions. We'll go mailbag. We'll throw some random stuff out there. But where are you on who should and will be number 2 in the rotation?
I think the Phillies are waiting to see who their opponent is. I think if you look at the Brewers lineup and you look at the Mets lineup, one of the two lineups clearly has some lefties that you worry about, and that would be the New York Mets with Brandon Nimmo, who has been out of this world in recent days, and Francisco Lindor, both of them who can hit from the left side and very, very well. So I think if you're the Phillies and you're going to face the Brewers, then you want to get your righties back-to-back and Wheeler and Nola, because they can take out that right-handed heavy lineup early and then hopefully be done with them. But if you're the Mets, you might want to go with Christopher Sanchez second, being the lefty. I think you've talked about this plenty before, Mike. The splits with Christopher Sanchez home and the road. At home, he's 7-3 with a 2.21 ERA, but on the road, he's 4-6 with a 5.02 ERA. So that would get Christopher Sanchez at home. It would have him facing those tough left-handed hitters against the Mets. So I could see them going in that direction if they play the Mets. But you know what? We've got a game 3 tonight, Mike, and we're going to see who the Phillies actually face.
Yeah, on that, let's get your thoughts on that. Mets, Braves, just overall. I mean, the Mets, Phillies would be an electric atmosphere. Everybody, they've never played. It's Philly, New York. We know that. But what's the better matchup for the Phillies? Is it playing the Mets or is it playing the Brewers?
I don't think either one, gives the Phillies an advantage. I think they're both really good teams. The Brewers won their division, of course. The Mets, if you started the clock in May, the Mets were one of the best teams in baseball. So I think they both present a really big challenge. The Brewers, of course, have traded away some of their assets the last few years. So they're not as strong as they could be if they had held on to some of those players, but they are a really, really good team. Mets a really, really good team. There's not a team of the two of them that makes me think, the Phillies would benefit if they play either one of those. But I think
no pitching staff that you match up better with.
I think the Mets, you think they have holes, but they perform very, very well over the last several months. So there's I would say this about the Mets. The Mets, having played that doubleheader on Monday, they might be a little bit more tired. That is an advantage. I think it's fair to say that the Mets had to, after playing that Sunday game, they had to squeeze in a doubleheader against the Braves. Even though I think the Mets took game 2 off once they clinched, I think the Mets had to still exert a little extra energy there, and I think that could catch up to them at some point in the playoffs if they advance. So that's right. The only thing I think would lean Mets having a pitching staff that they could face with a little bit more.
Oh, that's a question from Brian concerning the Phillies. Are you concerned about the Phillies having the week off before? This has always been the question, the team that sits out. Now, the Braves complained they didn't like the week off. Now they didn't get the week off, and they got eliminated in 2 straight games. They got bounced out. So do you have any concern that this team's been sitting out doing, yesterday they played an inter-squad simulated game. Quite frankly, I don't know why they're not playing again today and tomorrow. I'd be playing games today and tomorrow to get some more live pitching, but that's just me. But do you like the fact that they have this whole week off?
Hey, my friend Father Ed Casey, he said, hey, they should import a team from Japan to help fill the time. So it's not
I said on the X platform, I tweeted this out, and somebody was coming after me, and I said I'd call up the best young pitching prospects I have. I don't care if they're at single A. Just give me a couple kids that can throw 95, 96, 97 and let them, because they're coming up here trying to make an impression. They're trying to come up here and say, I can get these guys out. So you're going to get some intensity from those kids and get some live at-bats. I mean, I'm not saying you have to pitch Wheeler, Nola, and Sanchez in these games. I'm talking about going in your organization and getting some more live. You don't have to play 9-inning games, but, hey, give my hitters 3 to 5 to 7 innings of live at-bats against these kids.
Yeah, that would be the one concern, the timing of the bats, the fact that you need to see live pitching on a regular basis to have your swing timed up to their fastball. So that would be the one concern that people would have with such a layoff. But overall, I think the bye is an advantage. I just mentioned the Mets and all the hoops they had to go through to get to the playoffs, or the Brewers they had to play this week too. What those teams are doing that the Phillies now have an advantage against is they had to pitch their best pitchers in either the division series or that playoff leading up to the division series. I mean, up to the wild card series. And then the Phillies are going into the wild card series with their rotation set the way they want it. Now, we mentioned they could go a couple ways with that, but the Phillies have their rotation exactly where they want it, whereas the other teams, they have to basically go all out with their pitching to get to the next round. So I think that there's an advantage there. And I also think the Phillies could use a little bit of rest. I did remark this on X as well, that they've had a lot of nagging injuries over the course of the year. The 162 game grind is a lot. And specifically, we know the Phillies lost Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, and Bryce Harper at various times. And I think it's good that they enter the season perhaps a little rested. I mean, even Harper, he played through some nagging injuries and had that little power outage for a while. It'd be nice to know that his elbow is feeling good heading into the playoffs. So I think there's some advantages there. And I do want to point out, Mike, that in 2022, when the Houston Astros beat the Phillies in the World Series, they had a bye. They also swept the ALDS. They swept the ALCS, and yet still were able to win the World Series. So
I think if you can get out of the division series, then that's where it helps you, right? If you can overcome the rust and get out of it, that's where you don't get caught on the back end of having to play those extra wild card games. But it's just sometimes getting out of that division series because you're getting off to a slow start like the Braves have and the Dodgers. The Dodgers were a team that were clearly, I almost say clearly, their pitching was a disaster last year, and that was one of the problems. But their offense was still loaded, and they were not the same offense, and neither have been the Braves the last 2 years. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, the Braves, it's a shame. I mean, they lost their best starter and they lost their best hitter in the season. Now, I thought they got contributions from other players that you might not expect. I mean, Chris Sale, unfortunately, he did get hurt in the last week for the Braves. But, Sale, I thought, gave them way more than one might expect. I thought he was a little bit of a roll of the dice because of his injury history, but he put together a fine season and might win the Cy Young Award. So, but yeah, every team is sort of rolling in with a little bit of something. But the Braves, I think they just were a little too banged up this year.
Jason wants to know, Frank, how would you construct the roster? I know there's been a lot of talk, 14 position, 12 guys, probably the way they're going to go, at least in the 5-game series. But who are those bottom of the roster position players, and who is that number 12 pitcher, I guess would be the question.
Yeah, so I think Cody Clemens has made this postseason roster, at least for that first round. The Phillies can go. I mean, honestly, I think they could go 12 pitchers in any other round as well, if you ask me. But I don't make the decisions.
I don't think they have 13 options. I don't think they have.
Mike, it's funny you say that because when I was trying to list the 12 pitchers the Phillies could take, you get to that 12th spot and you're like, okay,
12th guy.
Is it going to be Taijuan Walker or to me the question is it going to be Kobe Allard or could it be Spencer Turnbull, who actually is healthy but he hasn't really pitched? He did pitch a little bit in the simulated game, but even Rob Thompson said, we don't necessarily know how he's doing. So Turnbull, unfortunately, did not get a couple of weeks in the regular season to show that he was healthy. He did have a rehab appearance at Lehigh Valley, but it's kind of a wild card. With any pitcher, you want to make sure your command is right, and if you've sat out for that long, your command might not be so great. It was not so great during the intra-squad game. So I might go Turnbull or Allard as my 12th, and then if you go to 13, maybe both of them. But I think if you are going 13 pitchers, that 13th pitcher, or even the 12th pitcher, they're only pitching in an emergency, or if they're getting blown out early and you just need to eat some innings and keep your staff rested. But you don't even need to do that because there are days off built into these playoff games. So I think whoever's 12 might not even pitch, and if they carry a 13th, I don't think they
Well,
need to do so, but
and how many? I don't remember what the splits were last year, but from my memory, Michael Lorenzen and Taiwan Walker. Lorenzen didn't make the division series, but I think he was on in the championship series. I don't remember Walker or Lorenzen. Definitely Walker didn't throw. Lorenzen might have came in and threw an inning or two.
Yeah, I think
but it's almost like they were unnecessary. The only reason you would be carrying a Walker or a Lorenzen last year or a Turnbull or a Kobe Allard this year is if you're getting blown out and you need someone just to eat the innings up.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly why you would carry, but you really don't need more than one of those, unfortunately. I mean, so I would actually prefer the
unless
Phillies
you got
have the
blown out
bats.
2 days in a row.
Right.
You know,
right. But you know what though, when you've looked at some of the success of the Phillies, Austin Hayes, I know he's been a little controversial figure on this station the last few weeks, but he hit lefties. I would rather have someone like him around.
I would say, well, I agree with you. He hit lefties. I'd play him against lefties. I wouldn't play him against righties. Controversial in that I think if they played him every day, I think that would be a mistake. He has shown he can hit lefties. I don't know that he has shown that they're a better team with him against righties.
I don't think he has either. I think that's fair to say. The numbers say that, but I wouldn't even be shocked if they are actually going to use Cody Clemens in left field. I mean, you saw them do it at the end. The Phillies earlier in the year were starting to have him play some left field at AAA, and then they ended up calling him up almost immediately just because they needed him. That was when that day that the Phillies lost both Schwarber and Harper at the same time, so he ended up being rushed back. But he was working on left field, so I mean, the Phillies could conceivably platoon Hayes and even Cody Clemens in left field and try to work those matchups to their advantage.
Well, that would be interesting to see if Cody Clemens all of a sudden is starting. Last year, if you remember, in the wild card round, Christian Pache started both games against the Miami Marlins because the Marlins threw lefties against you, and they did not play Marsh in those games. They played Christian Pache. Will they do the same this year, and will it be Austin Hayes that gets those at-bats? I would imagine he starts against lefties. The question will be, will Marsh go to center, or will it be Rojas? What do you think?
Rojas has been sick. There was actually a flu-like illness going around the Phillies clubhouse, so I guess a lot depends on Rojas. In fact, Rojas
I think he played yesterday, right?
Yeah, he went home though over the weekend because he was so dehydrated from that. So I guess a lot depends on how much of his strength he lost through that. I don't really know the answer to that yet, but to me, I think Rojas is there when you need some defense. I think he ends up in every game if they're ahead and you're getting towards the later innings, no matter who's on the mound. I think if you're the Phillies, I would personally start offense first and then make sure he gets in there once you get a lead.
All right, Frank Close, that's one area where we definitely differ.
Yes.
That's one area where you and I definitely differ. I certainly, if I can go pitching and defense in these playoffs, I'm going pitching only because I don't think Hayes offers enough offense, nor does Marsh against lefties. I'm certainly not putting Marsh in against lefties. And then my reasoning is, well, we have a better offense. I can't get behind that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something they can resolve big picture until the offseason, but it would be really nice if there was like a left-handed outfielder that could play center field well every day. I think that would go a long way.
Yeah, what's his name? Bellinger wouldn't be too bad in that role. We'll see what ends up happening there, but I don't want to get into the offseason quite yet because the playoffs have not begun. You can listen to the playoffs every pitch on 97.3 ESPN, Saturday at 4, Sunday at 4, both games this weekend on 97.3 ESPN. All right, Frank, good to talk to you, buddy.
Same here, Mike.
All right, we'll have Frank on, of course, throughout the baseball playoffs. Tomorrow, we'll preview the matchup of who the Phillies will be playing as we'll talk to Bob Rankel. The Sports Bash. I'm Mike Gill, and coming up on the other side, we will dive into, Thursday Night Football back. But tonight, you can listen to the Brewers and the Mets, Game 3, followed by the Thursday Night Football game. We'll take you to the Thursday Night Football game in progress. So 7 o'clock, Mets-Brewers Game 3, followed by two teams that have beaten the Eagles, the Falcons and the Buccaneers. Coming up at 3 o'clock, John McMullen, we're going to talk a little bit about something that Dan Orlovsky said this morning that I thought was very damning to the Philadelphia Eagles. Who was it damning to? That's coming up on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile, and streaming live video on the X platform at Mike Gill Show. Use the hashtag SBLive.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Keeping the fans entertained and happy.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Wrap up your workday with the all-new Chickies and Pete's Happy Hour with unbeatable specials weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Enjoy half-price orders of Chickies Meaty and Tender Wings, one of our tasty and delicious pizzas, or an order of mouth-watering hot, cold, or fried shrimp. Plus $3 domestic bottled beers, $5 Tito's, and $6 seltzers. It's the all-new Happy Hour, weekdays 4 to 6 p.m., only at Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Now, for a limited time, it's buy one, get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday. Buy one, get one free, and enjoy the sweet, delicate flavor of snowy white crab meat. Pair it with one of our handcrafted cocktails like the Stoli Vanilla Creamsicle or the Bourbon Peach Sweet Tea. Top it off with Chicky and Pete's world famous crab fries. Buy one, get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday for a limited time. Restrictions apply only at Chickies and Pete's.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Jersey Cow, a great place for the family to hang out and eat ice cream. At Jersey Cow, everything is homemade, small batch, right here in South Jersey with only the best ingredients. Enjoy Jersey Cow in Northfield and Brigantine with all the fall flavors, bringing back popular classics while introducing some future favorites as well. For the best ice cream with constantly rotating flavors, come taste the best homemade delicious ice cream made right at Jersey Cow. Visit every day from noon till 10 at both Northfield and Brigantine locations. Ice cream, a year-round thing at Jersey Cow.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
And it just keeps getting better.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, 252 Sports Bash live at Chickies and Pete's. You know they're going to have the Phillies on Saturday and Sunday. And from what I've been told, by the way, there, PG, you heard him. Steve, the manager, stepped by, and he was telling us how wild it's going to be in here. And he said it doesn't even matter if it's Mets or Braves. Either game that they or either team that the Phillies end up playing, they're going to be packed in here because he said, you got to come here. That's what he said to me. He said, you got to come here for a Saturday 3:30 college football game because it's packed in this joint.
I'll tell you, if I was a bartender or someone in the service industry, this would be my Super Bowl. So to be able to work one of these playoff games or a NFL playoff game, I wouldn't imagine it to be anything other than chaos.
Well, it's controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. You get to ring that bell. You get a nice tip. Ring the bell. High-fiving people.
So tonight you got the Brewers and the Mets on 97.3 ESPN. Check that out. And, of course, right after that at right around 10 o'clock tonight, I guess that game will be ending. We'll take you over to the Thursday night football game between the Bucs and the Falcons. Kind of an interesting game. You got these two teams in the NFC South. The Eagles have lost to both teams. I don't know what to think of this game tonight. The Falcons are kind of banged up. I think Bijan's hurt. I think Pitts is hurt.
They did win that game last week on a field goal.
Yeah, but
see how they respond.
They got banged up in the process. I don't know, like the Buccaneers, one week you lose at home and score 7 points against the Broncos, and then the next week you Rochambeau the Eagles. But at 3 o'clock today, all right, we're going to have McMullen here. Now, I don't know how many people heard Dan Orlovsky this morning said something that I thought, look, if you're on the side of, like, whatever side you're on, well, it's Sirianni's fault. It's the coach's fault. It's Hurts's fault. He's regressed. I think he encapsulated pretty well on why he thinks it's one person's fault over the other person's fault. You'll hear that coming up next on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, and streaming live video on the X platform at Mike Gill Show. Use the hashtag SB Live and subscribe on the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show. You can get all of the Sports Bash. Holy mackerel. We got Red October. We've got Thursday night football. We've got Eagles on the bye week. Did the bye come at the right time? Well, they might need to fix a lot of things. And we'll get into that coming up next with John McMullen from Birds 365 and Sports Illustrated as he joins us right here on the Sports Bash. Coming up at 5 o'clock tonight, one thought, every game, Casey Joyner, stick around.
Wildcard Thursday on ESPN Radio.
Mitchell, a two-run homer, and the Brewers have the lead. It's 5-3, and this place has come unglued.
The New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers head to Game 3 of the best of three. A trip to the division series is on the line. Game 3 of the Mets and Brewers.
It's Brewers Mets Game 3 on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 7 p.m.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Oh, Downy in the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
The holidays are here, and the Home Depot has everything you need to stay connected with smart home upgrades. Whether you're keeping an eye out for the big guy or keeping an eye on your family, the Home Depot has you covered with great tech, like the Ring Indoor Camera 2-pack with advanced motion detection, two-way talk, and color night vision. Plus, get your smart home devices the smart way with free delivery. Get holiday ready with seasonal savings happening now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or diabetes, you're at higher risk of being hospitalized from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Shop Macy's VIP sale going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Did you know that New Jersey is leading the nation in clean energy investments?
Really, New Jersey?
And all with one thing in mind. You.
Me?
Uh-huh. New Jersey's Clean Energy Program offers incentives and services that benefit New Jersey residents, businesses, education, government, and nonprofit entities to help them save energy, money, and the environment.
Save money while saving the planet. Who knew?
Now you do. Visit njcleanenergy.com to learn even more.
Maybe we should change our nickname to the Clean Energy State.
A message from the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities.
Hi, welcome to Staples. Hi, I hear Staples can print everything for my business. Sure can. And the quality is guaranteed? Absolutely. Plus, you'll beat any price quote. Is that right? For sure. How about this one? We'll beat it. Can you print menus, signs, and flyers? Sure can. How about blueprints? No problem. What about red prints?
Not a real thing.
What if they were?
We'd print them, and they'd look amazing.
Now at Staples, print more, save more. Up to $150 off your print purchase. Visit staples.com/print for staples.com/price match for in-store price match guarantee.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Your business is your passion. It's a huge reason you get out of bed every day. But if you have a bigger vision for your business, it's time to make the experts at Town Square Media a part of your team. Why? Because at Town Square Media, they have the most advanced advertising tools to help your business finish 2024 strong and increase your sales all throughout next year. Now is the time to turn to Town Square Media. For one day only, you can enjoy deep advertising discounts on their top stations. You know the ones your potential customers listen to every single day? And they don't do just radio. They have amazing digital tactics to help maximize your reach and target your exact customers. If you're thinking bigger for your business, then it's time to think Town Square Media. Take action and go to townsquaresouthjersey.com to request information on their customer appreciation sale. That's townsquaresouthjersey.com.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him. It's a sack.
Sixers.
Oh, baby.
And Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort studio, here's Mike Gill.
That's a poorly coached football team. Watch their tape. Since the start of 23, has anyone gotten better on the Jalen Hurts in a matter of 20 games has gone from an MVP in the Super Bowl to a liability on offense. And I know Jalen Hurts isn't lazy.
Dan Orlovsky this morning, sounds like he has figured out, in his mind anyway, the problems with this football team. They are a poorly coached football team. John McMullen, Birds 365. weekday morning, 8 a.m. on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. And Sports Illustrated joins me. Hyperbole, is there something to it? He did explain his reasoning why, John, he felt it was a poorly coached football team, but is that a little too strong? I don't have John. All right. I will say before John gets on, I don't know that he heard the bite. That would not be very beneficial if he didn't hear the bite for me to ask the question I'm asking him. But he basically, all right. So John, you heard what Orlovsky said. Hyperbole. He did explain why he felt this was a poorly coached football team. Is that a little too strong? Yeah. Well, he is a player. I'm saying he is a player. So to hear a player bring up the coach, his reasoning really was he felt to throw the ball 7 times in your first 9 plays when you're down your 2 receivers, that you really put your team in a bad position to try to compete in that game. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the first throw that he missed? That one? Okay. I don't know. Is that particular play that he doesn't complete that? Is that on Hurts? I mean, is that a pass that if you're watching him and you're coaching him, are you saying, I am disappointed you didn't make that throw? Mm-hmm. Well, and listen, and one of the things he mentioned in the big picture of things is, I don't know if you saw the graphic he puts up. Hey, sacks, interceptions, and fumbles in the last 2 seasons. He's got 8. I don't know what there was 3 categories. He's got 83. The only two that have more combined negative plays were Bryce Young and Sam Howell, and those guys aren't playing anymore. So his basically, I guess his point is, this is now 2 seasons or, one full season and now this year worth of data that he seems to be regressing. Are we watching a player regress, or is that not fair? Yeah. Well, and Sirianni is obviously the answer to that question, but I guess, well, yeah, you could say that he's the constant, but the one constant voice that has been with him is Sirianni, and is that voice not getting through, or is it too much of the other voices? This is like when Pat Burrell, he came up the one year and he was great, and then the next year he hit like 198 and then it was like, well, Mike Schmidt talked to him, and then Greg Wazinski talked to him, and then this guy talked to him, and at some point it's like information overload. I got so many voices telling me what I'm doing wrong and not helping me do something right. Is Hurts just being like so overcoached by so many different people now? You mean from last year? Houston? Oh, okay. I thought you meant offensive coordinator. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. No doubt. Mm-hmm. So basically, Hurts is resisting the coaching. Is essentially it's what it sounds like you're saying. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Okay. Yeah, and that's what makes this a very when he says something like that, it's obviously as he mentioned it in the comment, he said, "Listen, I'm friends with Kellen Moore. I like Kellen, but what the frick are you doing?" He's like, "You put this guy in no position to succeed because you're missing your two guys. So it's hard to judge performance based on what you have. But at some point, you have to stay, look, Matthew Stafford's missing his three top guys out there. He keeps on kind of chucking along. And a lot of these guys are under the same circumstances where they're missing pieces of their puzzles and they're not having the same issues. It seems like. Is that conducive? That's another thing. Like, you think big picture is, all right, this is the fourth different play caller he's had in his time. I mean, Sirianni started, then he went to Steichen, then he had Steichen again, then he had Brian Johnson. Now he's got Kellen Moore. So really, you've got 4 or 5 different guys calling plays. And then, okay, they fire Nick Sirianni, and maybe Kellen Moore gets hired as a head coach. Now you got another guy. Like, if you're the Eagles, do you feel good about the big picture of that situation? Right. That's the bugaboo of the whole thing is if this doesn't work, you're married to the quarterback still, but now he's got a whole nother set of voices that are coming in at him. And I'm just wondering if it's gotten to the point where he's just like shutting people out, regardless of who they are, just because it's been too much. Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely perplexing because as Dan, the basis of Dan's conversation, I thought it was well done by him, and Harry Douglas was a part of the conversation as well. It really was This was a guy who went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, and if you didn't look at the score, you would have said he was the best player in the field. I think many people would agree with that. So from 18 months ago, that guy to where he is now, it doesn't look like the same player. And it's not because he's lazy. It's not because he's hurt that we know of. And this is the result. Something's got to be there, and I guess that's why he's defaulting to he's not being well coached. Because his other question, John, was, and I thought this was an interesting question to get your take on. He said, look at that roster. Who on that roster has improved from the start of 2023 to now? I mean, the comment he made was the one guy on the field that looks the part is Barkley, and he was not on your team last year. You know, you look around and wonder, okay, that's what makes a lot of this. That's what makes a lot of this difficult. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. All right, John McMullen, Birds 365, of course. I don't know if you saw. I know you're a Pro Football Focus. I'm not saying you think of it as the Bible, but you will check in on it. Lane Johnson has won every single pass blocking snap this year. 74 opportunities. He has not lost one, according to Pro Football Focus. Fred Johnson has taken, I think, 67 snaps and has lost 21 of them. Not ideal. Which, by the way, Lane is the only one in the league who has not lost 0%. Fred Johnson was last. No doubt. We know their record with them and without him, and it's pretty significant over the years. Hopefully he's back. It would seem that he would be back. It would seem that AJ would be back. Are we confident that Smith will be back? I know that's a ways off, but do we think those three guys will be back? And then this conversation changes on they've got everybody, and is the regression still there? Their pass rush stinks. Which, by the way, Vic Fangio did not get, deprived of the criticism. They were basically, the conversation is, look, you're missing this many tackles, yada, yada, yada. That's on the coaching, all that jazz. Yeah. Nope. No doubt. John McMullen, Birds 365, weekday mornings, 8 a.m. on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. Check out his articles over at Sports Illustrated at JF McMullen. And, of course, right here on the Sports Bash live on 97.3 ESPN. All right, John, we're almost through the bye week. Yeah, well, you know what? They're in an interesting spot here because they got 5 games in which they should be favored in. You would think, that Dallas game will be interesting because Dallas looks like they're heading in the same direction as Philly is right now. More questions than answers. The next 5 games, they should be favored. Cleveland, the Giants, Cincinnati will be interesting. Jacksonville. Doug Peterson, is he going to be back at Lincoln Financial Field or will he be gone by then? And then the 5th game would be Dallas. So you got those 5. But the next couple weeks, you got Red October kind of pushing you to the side here. So some of these things might go under the radar a little bit. I feel like, that is something, right? I mean, the Phillies runs have kind of put the yeah. All right. All right. Well, John McMullen, a couple more days. Weekend will be here. Phillies will play, and then you get ready for Cleveland. We're on to Cleveland, one of Belichick's former teams, by the way. John McMullen. Great. And that's a big thing. That's one of the things they point out is that the common denominator between some of these teams that have really struggled is the league is changing. They can't stop the run. Like Dallas can't stop the run. Teams that just can't stop the run. They can't tackle. They can't stop the run. And teams are saying, hey, we're going to start running the ball. All right, John McMullen back tomorrow. We'll talk more Birds as they get ready for Cleveland next week. And, of course, you can listen to the Browns and the Eagles next Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Thanks, John. All right, there you go. By the way, if the Eagles make it, the Phillies, Sunday against the Browns, it's a 1 o'clock game. We're going to the 12th now. You scroll down to the 12th. The Eagles play the 13th. If Eagles play the Browns at noon, at 1 o'clock, the Phillies, if they make it to the championship series, would play that day. But I would imagine the NLCS game would be Sunday night.
You would think if it was Phillies Dodgers or Phillies Pods.
Yeah, they're not going to put that game on again at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
You'd be up against Bengals Giants as your Sunday nighter.
Oof. Yeah. Maybe they do put that game on right at 8 o'clock.
That's what the NLCS game 1, and there's no DS either. So you have no AL game, I should say. So you would have that game, NLCS game 1. Eagles would be at 1 o'clock. You get Phillies at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. That's a day right there.
And that's a Fox. Does Fox have the NLCS?
I
this
think
year?
so. Yeah.
Okay, so we get 2 days.
Believe so. Tonight, you got Brewers and Mets. And you can listen to the game on 97.3 ESPN. We'll have the first pitch, followed by Thursday Night Football. You can listen to that all right here on 97.3 ESPN. So what did you guys think about what McMullen said? Orlovsky's comment, he said this is a poorly coached team. And he's not just talking about Sirianni. He's talking about it from the coordinator, the game plan, defense, everything. And we'll get into that a little bit more throughout the day. Your thoughts at 609-403-0973, 609-403-0973. Sports Bash live at Chickies and Pizza Tropicana, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's right here at Chickies and Pizza Tropicana in Atlantic City. When you need the best Phillies coverage,
Sharp single. Around third, here comes Turner. Bellinger comes up firing to the plate, a one-hopper too late. Turner slides in gracefully, and a 2-out RBI single, and Brandon Marsh gives the Phillies the lead here with the first 1-0.
The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN.
Lenny Kravitz presents the Blue Electric Light Tour 2024. Live in Atlantic City, Ovation Hall and Ocean Casino Resort, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd. Get tickets now at theoceanac.com. Lenny Kravitz, the brand new album, Blue Electric Light, is available everywhere now. For more, visit LennyKravitz.com.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Take 10 grand off MSRP, 0% for 72 months, 0 payments for 90 days, or 2 new Matt Blatt Kias for $222. You don't need a sports betting app. Get to Matt Blatt Kia and be a winner. You heard right. 10 grand off MSRP and 0% for 72 months, 0 down, or 0 payments for 90 days on every clearly marked EV in stock. Currently stuck in a loan or lease? We want to get you released. New 24 Kia Forte LXS. Just $111 24-month lease. Why not get 2 for $222?
It's gotta be a Matt Black Kia.
With approved credit, take grand off customer cash and dealer discount. EV9, $38,900 per thousand through KMF. 24 months, $111 per month, 10,000 miles per year, $49.52. Not all will qualify. Offers can't be combined. Go to mattblackkianj.com for complete details or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes through KMF.
Matt Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township,
And on Route 37 in Toms River.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
You have the choice. Whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant. Those choices help to put money back into your community. And Town Square Media South Jersey puts a spotlight on local restaurants.
Bruno's Italian Market in Ventnor, full-service deli, hoagies, imported pastas, wines and meats. Provenza Restaurant and Event Center in Ventnor, a mouth-watering Latin American steakhouse with daily breakfast and lunch specials. On Facebook at Provenza Restaurant Event Center.
Thank you for supporting these great local restaurants from Town Square Media, South Jersey.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're going to get our first look at the NFL schedule. John McMullen, by the way, brought to you by Boardwalk Honda. Shop their line of new, pre-owned, and certified pre-owned Hondas online at boardwalkhonda.com. We are live at Chickies and Pete's at the Tropicana in Atlantic City. The official bar restaurant of the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles on a bye week, by the way, which kind of feels good. No Eagles this week. All Phillies, Red October, ready to go. But take a look at the Week 5 schedule, which starts tonight, right here on 97.3 ESPN. All right, tonight you got the Bucks and Falcons, right? Bucks Falcons is your Thursday night game. I don't know. This is an interesting one. Now, the Bucks got a lot of injuries. I don't know who. I mean, not the Bucks. The Falcons got a lot of injuries. I don't know who's in, who's out. I haven't seen that the injury report on that stuff yet. But the game's at Atlanta, though, right?
Game is in Atlanta, correct.
I got to think Atlanta, probably with some injury issues, Atlanta favored by 2.
Right there, Mike. Atlanta is favored by 2.5 in this game. They're giving you the hook. Do you like the hook or are you staying away?
I don't know what to do with it. What's the situation with Robinson and Pitt?
Last thing I saw, they were questionable. So the Tampa offensive lineman Gadecki's been ruled out. Well, Pitts doesn't get the ball anyway.
What a flop he was, real. Man, I thought he was going to be a big weapon. All right, Sunday slate. Jets and Minnesota, like the 9:30 London game.
Oh, that's right. The London games start this weekend. Okay.
Yep.
Like that.
London game, Jets and Vikings. Minnesota, man. I got to buy this team. They're good. I mean, if Darnold can play, if Darnold's the Darnold we're getting right now, this team's good. And if that's the case, on a neutral site,
he leads the league in touchdowns right now.
Yes, he does. He's got 11 touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
They're on a neutral site, so they're their home team, but this is a neutral site, so the spread's going to be affected. I got to think Minnesota's favored in this game.
How much, though?
2?
2.5 is the number. They got you on the hook again, Mike, in this game.
All right. I like Minnesota, I think. I don't know. They'll go out there. This is when they'll if everyone's talking about them, they're believing in them, 4-0. And this is when Rodgers will finally crank one up.
I think so.
Rodgers has been disappointing so far. I got to be honest.
Has he been disappointing or has the team been disappointing?
Well, I mean, it's all encompassing. But you're thinking, like, hey, as long as they get competent quarterback play, that team's really good. And they're just, wow, they're just not exciting. It's not fun to watch that team.
That dynamic is another Eagles dynamic with Saleh and the offensive coordinator Hackett.
Poorly coached team.
Hurts, Sirianni, and Kellen Moore dynamic.
Carolina, Chicago. This is such an interesting game because of the trade. You know, Carolina traded a boatload of picks to Chicago for Bryce Young. He's been a complete busteroni. The pick that they get in return, they get Caleb Williams, who's been average at best right now. Now they're playing each other. Could Andy Dalton be the guy who goes into Chicago and beats the Bears?
Another one of Dalton's former teams.
Kind of like Carolina in this spot. On the road, probably too big for a number. I think the Bears are probably favored by like 5, and that's probably too big.
It is too big. The Bears are favored by 3.5 in this game, Mike. What's interesting is that the number actually for the over-under has moved down to 41.
Yeah. Kind of like Carolina in that spot. All right, Baltimore and Cincinnati. This was a game at the beginning of the year you think would be an awesome game. Cincinnati has not been anywhere near what you had thought. They had all sorts of problems there. Baltimore 0-2, then 2-0. Baltimore on the road. Cincy a home dog in this spot? Yeah.
After Sunday night.
I'll say Baltimore. Baltimore 2.
Baltimore is favored by 2.5.
Okay, feel good about that. Just a game though that everybody thinks Cincinnati's not what they are, and they, Ravens start to play well.
How do you feel about the over under 49?
Don't like it. That's a lot of points.
The under.
Yeah, I'm taking the under in that game. But Baltimore, everybody starts to say, okay, they figured themselves out, and then they save their season. This game sucks. Miami and the Patriots. What's the over/under in this game? 6. This is a 6-3 final.
It's 36.5.
Miami's awful. The quarterback situation is awful.
That's a shame. I mean, they had such high hopes.
Yeah.
And one injury derailed everything.
Does that say how good Tua is, or how bad these other guys are?
I think Tua is the one who made McDaniel look good.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree with that. Tua, he was not good previously before McDaniel got there. But you look at the situation now, they can't even get a first down. You wouldn't either if you're quarterback with Tyler Huntley. That's my point. Tua is really that's what I'm saying. Tua is that good, or these guys that bad. I think they're that bad.
I mean, Huntley went to the Pro Bowl for God's sake.
That's a fraudulent Pro Bowl. Stop. That's
He was like the 9th selection. Still, but I mean, like,
they put him in the Pro Bowl so he gets Snoop Dogg to come out for the concert. I'm not buying Boy Wonder McDaniel.
Is New England a favorite in this game? I mean, who would think that New England would be favored at all this year? They're at home. Pick them. They're both that bad. Pick them.
New England is favored by -1 in one book. It's -1.5 at one of the books.
Don't put that game on my TV, please. If I'm stuck with that one, I might have to go red zone.
Ooh. The one thing that'll push Mike Gill to red zone.
Cleveland, Washington. Obviously, Daniels. Now fun to watch Washington. This Cleveland team. What a disappointment situation. What a disaster. Washington at home. I got to think that Washington's a clear favorite here. Here's the thing. Are people so excited about James Daniels now? They're going to jump on that and push that number up to like 4.
So here's the deal, Mike. People are excited about the Commanders because this actually opened as a round favorite on the road. I'm telling you the truth. And now,
favorite in this game?
No, they opened as a favorite.
When?
Now,
in
August, right?
When the schedule was made?
Now the Commanders are favored by 3 or 3.5.
Where are you getting that info?
Well, I always get info.
You're telling me when this game opens on Sunday, whatever the reminds me of, Cleveland was favored in this game?
Yeah. I'm going to go talk to the sportsbook gentleman.
I'd like you to find out that info. We got to do some fact check with that. Okay, now, what's the line?
3.5 Commanders.
So you're telling me you went from Cleveland favorite. It's now 3.5 Washington.
5 points.
I got a hard time believing that.
68% of the money coming in has been on Washington. Big public bet coming in on Washington.
Oh, all right. I like Washington. Indianapolis, Jacksonville. Another dog in the game. Richardson playing or Flacco?
I have to double check, but I thought it was Flacco.
I mean, if Richardson's playing, he's awful. I would never put money on that guy, ever.
Trevor Lawrence is playing.
I'm way more interested in Lawrence than I am Richardson. But Flacco playing quarterback, I mean, I don't know who the guy who's playing quarterback to set the line on this. I mean, if Flacco's playing quarterback, I got to think Indianapolis is favored. If it's Richardson playing quarterback, I guess Jacksonville's favored. I think Richardson's the worst, maybe the worst quarterback. I can't even compare. He has no business playing quarterback. The only thing,
like DeMarcus Russell,
he can't. He has zero accuracy. He's got a strong arm. He can chuck it 80 yards. Russell, but you can't win like that.
Good pull here, I think.
Yeah, Marcus Russell is really bad, but Richardson is better than Russell. Richardson can move, but he got hurt last week. I feel bad. I don't want to think the kid stinks,
but he can't read it.
He can't. He has no accuracy, no touch. Everything's a laser. If Flacco's playing quarterback, I like the Colts in this game. Jacksonville's at home. I like the Colts better than I like Jacksonville. I'll take Jacksonville. I'll take the Colts by 1.
Just one? You're going just the one? By the way, Richardson is limited at practice today, for what it's worth. So hopefully that means he'll play. But right now, the Jags are favored by 2.5.
Richardson wasn't even good at Florida.
No, he wasn't.
That's the thing that's crazy.
He was drafted on pure, like Pete mentioned, DeMarcus Russell physical ability.
That's the things I can't take that. But when you watch him at Florida, I'd say this guy stinks. He stinks. At Florida, you stink. He got drafted in the first round, for God's sake. And then he got named the starting quarterback right off the bat. I hope he proves me wrong. And there's an MVP.
An MVP, wow.
Somewhere down the line.
You went MVP on us.
I mean, I'm pulling for the guy, but in my opinion, I think he stinks. Buffalo and Houston. I like Houston, Buffalo. These guys are both in my fine 5. They're close.
This could be a marquee matchup for those 1 p.m.
Yeah,
games.
that's a 1 o'clock CBS. I like Houston at home here. Man, this is tough. Houston 3.
Houston is actually the underdog in this game. The Bills are currently favored by 1 or 1.5. I like the home team in that game.
Vegas and Denver. You know, both these teams are 2-2. You wouldn't know it. The whole thing in Vegas right now is Pierce and Adams. I mean,
so
what?
Yeah, he's as good as well. Pierce and Adams.
Oh, I don't like Bo Nix very much either. Put it this way, I don't like Bo Nix, and I think he's a Pro Bowler next to Richardson. This is a terrible situation.
Now, Denver's got 2 wins, though. They pulled the whole East Coast will stay.
And they've won back-to-back on the road.
And it paid off.
So being at home this week, Denver really wins 3 games in a row. I think they're a better prepared coach. I'll take Peyton over Pierce in this spot. Give me Denver 3.
Half the books have it at 3, Mike. The other half had it at 2.5. Winner for Mike Gill right there.
Arizona, Stanford's left division game. Arizona, San Francisco starting to get a little healthier. Debo's back. They're not going to get McCaffrey back for a while, but starting to get there. Arizona, man, they got bombed last week by Washington. Now they're going to go on the road. This is a tough spot for them. I think San Francisco in this game's got to be like an 8-point favorite.
You're right there, Mike. It's 7.5 at most of the books. Although there are 2 books that have it at 7, but you get 7 or 7.5 for those Niners at home.
Yeah, those NFC West games are always a little tricky. Green Bay and LA, the Rams. Rams all sorts of problems, man. No Nakua, no Cooper Cup. The line's a mess. Green Bay, I don't know what the world was start last week, but he lost Watson. That's going to be a fun game. Jeez. The Rams. Bay on the road, though. This is a tough one. I'm going to go Rams. No, I'm going to go Green Bay. A point and a half.
Green Bay is favored by 3 on the road in this game. They're giving them the big old 3 on the road. How do you feel about the Rams next week?
I'm passing on that game. Giants, Seattle. I got to tell you, if the Giants would still like
And Saquon Barkley.
That's true. They had Geno Smith and Saquon Barkley. They've been the NFC.
They're a playoff team.
I like Seattle here at home. I thought their offense was very impressive in the second half of that game the other night. Although the Giants defense, they've been in the game. They just can't move the ball at all. Seattle's got to be favored in this game by like
Touchdown at 2 of the books. Mike, 6.5 at the other books.
Okay. I like Seattle too. You?
Yeah. They showed me something on Monday night.
All right. Dallas and Pittsburgh is your Sunday night game.
Ooh, in Pittsburgh. Cowboys fans, they travel well. But remember, it looks like no Lawrence or Parsons in this game. Well, there are Cowboy fans everywhere.
Do they travel well? They got Cowboy fans in different places. The actual people from Dallas travel anywhere.
Well, I bet you I can walk around this casino and get majority Cowboy fans.
It's Yankee season for them.
You really think the Steelers are going to let the Cowboy fans in the building?
Yeah, the Steelers are good fans.
You believe those terrible pals will outnumber any sort of 100%.
I think the Yankees play Sunday. No, I think it's nationally only. Seriously. I'm not joking. The Yankees play the Cowboys fans and all Yankees fans that live here.
Oh, it's so true.
Never meet a Dallas fan that's not a Yankee fan.
Nope. Or a Lakers fan.
The Lakers is a little bit. A lot of Dallas/Yankee fans aren't basketball fans. But if they are, it's a Lakers. But seriously,
or Duke.
How many Dallas fans do you know that aren't also Yankee fans?
It's very true. They do have a soft spot for the Yankees.
Like, you think it's
more than a soft spot.
People act like they're pulled out of like thin air, like, oh, Cowboys fans are
because they're very similar. They're very parallel.
No, the Cowboy fans don't travel well.
No, they're just exactly
infiltrate.
Hey,
Pittsburgh's favorite in this game. They're just better. Dallas, Pittsburgh is favored by
2.5 is the number. A couple of folks have it at 1.5. Majority are 2.5.
I like Pittsburgh in that game too.
Their defense is going to murder that.
Monday night, we got one Monday night. I like the double Cisco on Monday.
No,
I think I do.
I
don't.
I do. You know what? I would like a West Coast game.
I would like
have
to stagger a little better.
I don't like how it's
like. I would like if the second game came on. Like you flipped to the second game, it was in like the third quarter. So if you finish like a 9 o'clock start, and like you finish the first game, and then you get right into the second half.
It would have to be a West Coast game. Great hosting LA.
Maybe at 8:45. 8:45.
Yeah.
That's insane. By the way, your Saints still lead the league in points per game based on their first 2 games of the year. They lost. She's got to be favored in this game.
She's favored like 5.5. They're right there.
There we go.
Travis Kelce.
This hour brought to you by Bronte Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, your trusted source for heating and plumbing service installation generation. 609-390-3907. Online broadly.net. There's your first look at this week's NFL schedule. This week, Sunday, we will have the Phillies on 97.3 ESPN. We will have a quadruple header of baseball on, is it Sunday?
Quad box.
Saturday.
Quad box.
Saturday, we'll have all 4 baseball games, back to back to back to back. You can listen to all the baseball this Saturday. And on Sunday, we'll have the Phillies and then the Cowboys and the Steelers on Sunday Night Football right here on 97.3 ESPN. We're at Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City, Tropicana. Bang. Tonight, you get Game 3, Mets and Brewers, if you're looking for something to do for that. And they'll have the Thursday Night Football game on. You cannot go wrong by watching the Thursday games here, the Saturday Phillies, the Sunday Phillies, the official hot spot right now for Phillies playoff baseball. Chickies and Pete's. That's where we are on this Thursday. It's football at 4 up next.
Ian Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. An NFC South matchup coming up to start Week 5 with the 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Atlanta to face the 2-2 Falcons. Both are coming off wins. Can Baker Mayfield and receiver Mike Evans repeat last week's impressive Buck showing? Or will Kirk Cousins get the Falcons offense to take flight? Find out on Thursday Night Football.
Listen to Thursday Night Football on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins after playoff baseball.
New Jersey is leading the nation in clean energy investments with one thing in mind: you. Save money while saving the planet. New Jersey's Clean Energy Program is a statewide program that offers incentives, programs, and services that benefit New Jersey residents, businesses, education, government, and nonprofit entities to help us all save energy, money, and the environment. Discover how you can start saving today and help ensure a cleaner future. Visit njcleanenergy.com to see what New Jersey's Clean Energy Program can do for you. A message from the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities.
The holidays are here, and the Home Depot has everything you need to stay connected with smart home upgrades. Whether you're keeping an eye out for the big guy or keeping an eye on your family, the Home Depot has you covered with great tech, like the Ring Indoor Camera 2-pack with advanced motion detection, two-way talk, and color night vision. Plus, get your smart home devices the smart way with free delivery. Get holiday ready with seasonal savings happening now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for details.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card, good for use at Provenza Restaurant and Event Center on Wellington Avenue in Ventnor for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
Seizethedeal.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are going to need a bigger cake.
Now through October 10th, upgrade and switch to 300 megabit Xfinity internet with unlimited data and one line of unlimited mobile for just $35 a month for 1 year. Plus, get an eligible free 5G phone with trade-in. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Lenny Kravitz presents the Blue Electric Light Tour 2024. Live in Atlantic City, Ovation Hall and Ocean Casino Resort, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd. Get tickets now at theoceanac.com. Lenny Kravitz, the brand new album, Blue Electric Light, is available everywhere now. For more, visit LennyKravitz.com.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace,
you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Tune in to the Bet365 Play of the Day during the Sports Bash with me, Mike Gill, every weekday afternoon at 5:45 on 97.3 ESPN. Made possible by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
You have the choice. Whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant or buying that new outfit from a local boutique, those choices help to put money back into your community. Town Square Media South Jersey proudly puts a spotlight on local businesses.
Pick-a-Lily Inn. Visit them on Facebook or at pickaalily.com for their pick specials. Nobody beats the Pick-a-Lily. Route 206 in Chemung. Storybook Land. Create your own story at Storybook Land. Manhattan Bagel. Looking for a quick snack or a full meal? Easy to use menu. Customize how you'd like. Place your order and sit back. ManhattanBagel.com has you covered. Start fresh, fast, order online for pickup and delivery. Apex East Roofing. Get a price on your roof in 30 seconds at ApexEastRoofing.com. And Dennisville Fence. When you want experience, go for the best. Fences, railings, outdoor shower enclosures, and more. Request a quote at DennisvilleFence.com.
Thank you for supporting your local businesses from Town Square Media South Jersey.
Home of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill, 97.3 ESPN.
That sounds great, guys.
WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. 97.3 ESPN presents the Sports Bash with Mike Gill. It's time for Football at 4 with Andrew DeCecco, powered by the Inside the Birds podcast.
We're never satisfied. That hunger for more. I have it. Everyone has it.
Now live, this is Football at 4.
You mean to tell me in 18 months he's gone from outplaying the best ever, or best going right now, to on that list? You mean to tell me that with an offensive line that is top 5 in pass protection, he's throwing the ball, holding the ball time-wise at 3.1 seconds and getting pressured 60% of the time? There's a massive regression.
Football at 4, powered by the Inside the Birds podcast. And, of course, it is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. That was Dan Orlovsky this morning on Get Up. Andrew DeCecco from the Inside the Birds podcast and InsideTheBirds.com is here for another edition of Football at 4, where he really talks about, Andrew, is the quarterback regressing? Is it the coaching? What do you look at as we hit the bye week of the first 4 weeks quarter poll? Jalen Hurts through 4 games so far. Yeah, there's a lot there. And I don't know if you saw Dan's comments. He said, this is a poorly coached team. And then they went on, and he gave a lot of reasons why. I want to get your thoughts on it. You go back to the game in Tampa, and he said, look, you're shorthanded with no Brown, no Smith, and your 7 of your first 9 plays, you throw the football. Do you look back at that and say that is a coaching game plan problem? Yeah, Andrew DeCecco is with us from InsideTheBirds.com and the Inside the Birds podcast. Obviously, it's not one thing. This isn't like one guy is the problem. There's a multitude of things when you're having problems like this. But I want to get your take on, does this all get fixed, or at least offensively, by just being healthy? If there's a healthy offense, are we having these kind of conversations? We'll get over there. I do want to ask a question regarding Hurts. And look, this is what he had Sirianni called plays. Then it was Steichen. Then it was Brian Johnson. Now they're on to Kellen Moore. Do you think there's like information overload on Jalen Hurts? And this is like a byproduct of just too many different philosophies and too many different voices in his head? Andrew, one of the stats that they pointed out I thought was crazy. Combined sacks, interceptions, and fumbles for Jalen Hurts. They called them negative plays. He has 82 since the start of last year. Only two quarterbacks, Sam Howell and Bryce Young. Neither are starting quarterbacks anymore. In fact, Sam Howell, I don't even know, is he in Seattle? All right, so they're the only two quarterbacks in the league who have more combined sacks, interceptions, and fumbles than Jalen. Jalen has 82, Hal has 91, and Bryce Young has 92. Those guys got benched. So when you hear those numbers and ask about Jalen Hurts and say, man, are those numbers accurate? Does that say that he is not the guy that we thought he was? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess on the coaching front, all the different voices. You wonder if you get to a point where you just start tuning people out because you heard too much. Hey, Steichen told me to do this. Now you're telling me to do this, and this guy told me to do that. At what point do you just say, "I'm just going to do what I know"? All right, you mentioned the defense, and I guess the one question I think we all know the answer to, but I will ask you because you've been to training camp, you know a lot of these guys, you follow them through the draft, and see this team up close and personal. Do you have any anticipation, Andrew, that they will find pass rush? Because if they can't find pass rush, this style of defense doesn't seem to work. Yeah. Well, you brought him up, Smith, because I was going to ask you. I know going back to the draft last year, talking about Nolan Smith, 30th pick. Why is he strong? Why are we seeing a guy who has essentially made no impact? And do you think that he will get it? Will it click for him? Or do you watch a guy that just is too small at this level now that you've gotten a bigger sample size? Andrew DeCecco, Football at 4 from the Inside the Birds podcast, InsideTheBirds.com. In your mind, does Sidney Brown's return give this defense anything different, or is he just going to be kind of a role bit player? Cooper DeJean, he got brought up by Vic Fangio. Does he step into that slot and change the complexion of this defense in your mind? I know you wrote an article, about Ben Van Sumeren and, his special teams prowess, Jeremiah Trotter. What do you look at the bye week, how these two linebackers have performed through 4 weeks, and do they need to consider possibly making a change at that position? All right, let's come into the interior, which is supposed to be your strength. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. Is it time for the Eagles to start considering maybe lessening Davis's role and giving someone else some of those snaps? Yeah. Yeah, and your question is fair. Like, where do you have, I don't know, Milton Williams? Can you get more pass rush from him from the interior? You're just trying to find ways to get pressure. But I guess, I don't know, are we coming to a point where we're saying Jordan Davis has been a disappointment, or is he, I know his position, you don't look at stats, but are we saying, man, that guy has really become what we had hoped? Mm-hmm. No. Yeah. Yeah, well, and listen, I'm not asking to be Vita Veo there, but you see a guy with that size, he doesn't have to. It's just don't push him out of the way. I mean, that guy literally on 2 goal line plays, which I guess you can question why the heck are you running at 50 to the right side there. He blows up 2 plays. This Eagles team, it's not like you have a guy that's just clogging up running lanes there. That's where I think, forget the pass rushing aspect of it. This isn't a dominant run team. And you have a guy that you drafted to be a dominant run stuffer, and that's not happening. Yeah. Well, and that's why I asked you a question like that, because I know you know the depth of this team and could say, hey, look, I think Thomas Booker should get more snaps. Or yeah. All right, Andrew DeCecco, good stuff. We can talk about the issues on this team, but hopefully you got Cleveland, you got the Giants, you got Cincinnati, you got Jacksonville, you got Dallas. You got 5 teams that are also having similar conversations to what we're having right now with the issues with their teams, and hopefully they are 5 get-right games as you hit the back end of that schedule. We'll be doing it here on Football at 4. That's my man Andrew DeCecco right there. Check him out on the Inside the Birds podcast and, of course, at InsideTheBirds.com. All right, brother, we'll talk to you next week. Andrew DeCecco and Football at 4 is brought to you by here in Atlantic City at the Tropicana. If you've never been inside the Trop Chicken, I know a lot of people listening, you might live offshore, you go to the EHT, but the Tropicana, this place is gorgeous. I mean, it still looks like it's brand new. It looks like they just opened this place. It's so well kept, so nice. The TVs are everywhere. Make an appointment maybe this weekend for Red October to stop here. But on your way over, if you're in Brigantine or Northfield, make sure you stop at Jersey Cow. Get yourself some ice cream. You ever had Jersey Cow ice cream since you moved back here?
No, I have not.
You got to get there. You must.
What's your flavor? What's yours,
Oh, they got so many different flavors. It's overwhelming. You got the fluffer nutter.
Oh, my goodness.
You got, yeah.
I'm a big cake batter. But,
they got, their fall flavors are out now.
So you go pumpkin.
You got all that pumpkin,
coffee,
Cinnabon, stuff. Heidi loves the lemon poppy seed, but that's usually a summertime flavor. But their flavors, the ice cream, it's all the best ingredients, homemade, open year-round. Listen, the ice cream's still good at this place. In the middle of January, you got a line. 7 o'clock at night, people are freezing. They're out there wearing scarves and stuff. They got to get their Jersey Cow ice cream. Noon to 10, they're open year-round. Ice cream's a year-round thing at Jersey Cow. All right, I'm Mike Gill. This is the Sports Bash Live. All right, coming up next, it's Knicks Nuggets. I wonder if Nuggets heard what Rob Thompson said yesterday. Thompson's thinking about using Sanchez as the number 2 pitcher. Nuggets. That's next. This is the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle, and streaming live video on the X platform at Mike Gill Show. Use the hashtag SB Live.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. with Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Small. Can't wake up without it. Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text GRIT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text GRIT to 42424. That's GRIT to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential.
But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With fall savings at the Home Depot, get up to $1,600 off select appliances from top brands like GE Profile. How doers get more done. Valid September 26th to October 16th.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. The Phillies will open up the National League Divisional Series on Saturday, facing either Milwaukee or the New York Mets. Those two teams will play a deciding Game 3 tonight in the wild card round. The Phillies will start Zach Wheeler in the opening game of the best-of-5 series on Saturday. As for tonight's contest, it'll be Jose Quintana going up against Tobias Myers in Milwaukee. The Eagles are heading into a bye week, sitting at 2-2 after their Week 4 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Philadelphia returning October 13th at home against Cleveland. Thursday night football tonight, Tampa Bay and Atlanta to take on the Falcons. NHL, the Flyers will play their final preseason game tonight, hosting the New Jersey Devils. Philadelphia lost Tuesday to Boston 4-1, and they'll be on the road to open up the regular season next week on October 11th against Vancouver. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state, so what are you waiting for? Wow your way through NJ. Through sculpture gardens, garden gardens, and loop-de-loops. New Jersey, it's one wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Good afternoon with your South Jersey weather forecast. I'm Joe Kelly. Heading into tonight, a few clouds here and there. A low temperature tonight of 55. Tomorrow looks really good. Lots of sunshine, high about 55. And the weekend looks, well, excellent, especially for October. Sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Highs both days in the mid to upper 70s. As of right now, the next chance of rain will happen Monday morning. But after that, it looks like another dry, nice week for South Jersey next week. Enjoy your evening. That's your South Jersey weather forecast. I'm Joe Kelly.
You have the choice, whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant. Those choices help to put money back into your community. And Town Square Media South Jersey puts a spotlight on local restaurants.
Sassy Cafe and Sweets in Mullica Township. Breakfast, ice cream, and homemade freeze-dried candy. Villa Fazzolari, serving authentic Italian cuisine since 2007. In Buna, Bagel University, Vineman's delicious destination for bagel education.
Thank you for supporting these great local restaurants from Town Square Media, South Jersey.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Never thought this radio stunt would catch on so big.
On 97.3 ESPN.
Thurs on 97.3 ESPN, followed by Thursday Night Football. Knicks Nuggets here on the Sports Bash. Mickey Earnshaw is in the house with another edition of Knicks Nuggets with Mets Brewers. Game 3. We didn't know if it would get to this point there, Nuggets, but we got a Game 3 tonight, a deciding game, and you can listen to the game on 97.3 ESPN. Let's bring in Nick Earnshaw for another edition of Knicks Nuggets here on the Sports Bash. What's up, Nick?
What's going on, Mike? Nice to talk to you once again. Yeah, we're in this spot with the with both the Mets and the Brewers. getting to a third game. They're the only team out of all the wild card rounds to get to a third game. So it's massively important for the Phillies, right? You get to burn another pitcher for the Mets or the Brewers, whoever they face. They're going to have to face one of their lower level pitchers. And that's where we're going to start with nugget number one. It's going to be either probably David Peterson or Aaron Savali. So Aaron Savali, pitcher for the Brewers, and Mets, David Peterson. They've had some success against David Peterson. In their last time they saw him on September 20th, Mike, the Phillies scored 5 runs in 3 2/3 innings against him. So the Phillies got a little lucky with this game going an extra series. Or extra game.
No doubt about it. I threw out the other side, and I'm definitely on the side of letting them use another pitcher. But if the Mets would have won last night, they would have been off Thursday and Friday, and you get the whole conversation for them sitting out 2 days and not having that rhythm. They seem like a team that might need the 2 days off, though. They've been playing, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doubleheader, Monday, travel back. They went from Milwaukee to Atlanta for the doubleheader, then back to Milwaukee. So you're wondering if they're kind of hitting the wall, running out of gas, and those 2 days would have helped them out a little bit as opposed to having to play again tonight. We'll see what kind of energy they have tonight. I'm not counting them out, but it's definitely a benefit for the Phillies that these two teams have to play again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only series that went to an extension. I mean, how about the Tigers? They move on. They knock out the Astros. Astros are out in the wild card round. Who saw that coming? And the Orioles, they looked like the Phillies in the NLCS last year. They couldn't hit anything during their 2-game series. So shocking stuff on the AL side. Braves get swept by the Padres. Everyone kind of saw that coming. Braves were cooked. Padres took advantage, swept them. But you have the best wild card series so far, and it being the Brewers and the Mets. It's been a fascinating series so far, but there's going to be so many storylines either way. Like, I want to see the Mets, obviously, because of the historic rivalry, and they've never faced each other in the postseason. So you have that storyline if you face the Phillies. And then Rhys Hoskins coming back to Philadelphia to play against his old team if the Brewers move on tonight. So there's so many storylines with this series heading into the Phillies series in the DS.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the Phillies-Mets thing it would be gigantic if those two teams play. But I definitely think playing the Brewers, it's across the board. I think it's a better matchup for you. I think you don't have to deal with the Brewers fans infiltrating your stadium. I don't think that's a storyline. I think the Mets fans will get into the ballpark, and I think that will be a story. I don't think that it's a fait accompli that the Phillies fans are going to keep the Mets fans out. I think the Mets fans are going to find ways to get enough tickets to make a presence in that ballpark and maybe bump the Red October feel a little bit. So the Brewers fans, they ain't traveling here, not in big enough bunches to make any impact at all. And I just think the Mets are a more dangerous team than the Brewers are in terms of they have the 2 lefties in their rotation. And I think, listen, there's some pieces. Obviously, the Brewers lineup has a couple pieces in that lineup that you're worried about. It's not like the lineup stinks, but I think the Mets just have a little bit more danger spots in that lineup against the Phillies.
Yeah, they have a little more star power. I mean, Francisco Lindor, on, Monday, they hit in the doubleheader, hits the big home run, the go-ahead home run to send them to the postseason. Like, they have a little bit more star power. Pete Alonso, I know he fell yesterday. I mean, that's typical Mets, right? Falling apart when they need to. He tripped over his back going to first base. But they do have some more star power, I feel like, than the Milwaukee Brewers do. But, yeah. Now I want to touch on something you brought up, and it's the Mets fan factor, right? So we remember the Knicks, the blue and orange. They came in, they infiltrated the Wells Fargo Center with the 76ers this past spring. Heading into this postseason, if the Mets do find a way to win tonight, move on, face the Phillies on Saturday in Game 1. I don't know. I mean, the lottery thing is interesting. All the fans for the Phillies entering that lottery, getting the tickets. Maybe that keeps some of the Mets fans out and they don't sell their tickets. I think it's just about not selling your tickets, essentially, right?
Pete G, did you get the lottery?
I did. I got the second chance opportunity.
You're in.
I'm in. Got it this morning, and I immediately got 2 tickets.
Did you sell them?
No.
Are you going to?
No.
What'd you think about it?
For the NLDS, no.
Okay.
That's
one pair of
CS.
tickets That's one pair of tickets aren't getting sold. No, I think people look. There's a reason why these sites exist. The SeatGeeks, your StubHubs, people buy bulk tickets, post them to try to make money. For a lot of people, this is an investment. This is a business. So a lot of people that buy season tickets and never go to a game, they try to make money off their season tickets. So I'm not confident. If the Mets are in Philly, I am not confident that they will not have enough of a presence to be known.
Do you think, all right, so John Middleton, I mean, he could do what the Sixers ownership group did and Josh Harris and buy up sections and make sure they go to Phillies fans. I mean, could we go to that extreme again and just make sure the Mets fans are kept out?
It's a big difference between a 20,000 seat arena and a 42,000 seat arena. You can try, you could do your best. Look, I think the Mets fans, I don't know what the tickets are at Citi Field, but I think that's one of the things is you come to another city outside of New York, the tickets aren't as expensive in Philly as they are in New York. So this is a cheaper ticket for them.
Yeah, and they'd rather make the drive down here. Now, could we see a little bit of a Phillies takeover in New York, though? I mean, we could, right? I've seen tickets that aren't too bad in price in case the Mets go to the NLDS. I mean, maybe you could see it in both sides. Maybe the Phillies fans also travel to New York to Citi Field. I mean, that's something that we have to think about, too. The Phillies fans could also take over Citi Field. We've seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like the same vibe. I will say that. When the Mets fans come to Citizens Bank Park, it's apparent. I've been to those games when the Mets fans are there, and they are loud and they're boisterous, and they are strong.
Just don't ruin my time. Just don't ruin my time.
I just don't want to see what I see at 49er games and Ram games. It seems like every weekend, which is fist fights, people's faces getting bloodied. I mean, it's ridiculous what I see at these football games every week. If the Phillies and Mets fans are going to be in the same ballpark, just treat yourself with some respect. It's a damn game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Now, Pete brought up he's getting a second chance at the lottery. I haven't even gotten an email back about anything in the lottery. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get my nosebleeds, Mike.
Well, I would say continue to check your email because
I refresh every 3 seconds, Pete. I'm waiting. I'm like waiting on edge. It's Thursday. I'm like, am I going to have to go to the secondary market?
You might have to.
Yeah,
you might have to pony up.
At this
is
point,
brutal.
I don't know what you do. I'm not a big secondary market. Is it something that if you wait to the end, the prices will drop, or as you wait, they go up?
I think it depends, right? Like, I think it just depends on like if they're selling or not, if it's a hot ticket.
I don't generally buy tickets on the secondary market all that much.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the email yet. I put in the lottery, haven't gotten a denial email, or if I got the tickets. I haven't gotten anything. I'm waiting on it.
So what did you just get a random email this morning?
Yeah.
Just said, hey, second chance, you're in?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And I'm hoping that they see that and they say, wow, this guy's a true fan. We'll give it to him for the NLCS. We'll continue to pick his name out of the hat and give him these opportunities.
My name still hasn't been picked. I need my name to get picked, Pete. Hopefully I'll join you at some point, whether I get denied this time around or for the LCS. Hopefully I'll be able to join you up in the nosebleeds at some point. All right.
Nosebleeds?
No, I'm third base side by the foul pole.
No, you got to go nosebleeds, Pete.
Third base side by all the Mets fans.
That's where they usually are.
Yeah, the Mets fans, they infiltrate they go behind the third base dugout.
You gonna try and drown them out, Pete?
I don't think I'm going to be able to do that.
I don't know. Listen,
I
think
put it this way: the
they
Brewers
have to win first.
I mean, if the Brewers win tonight, there's going to be about 100
Well,
Brewers
that's what I'm saying.
fans.
If the Brewers are in, you don't have to worry about that. But I think if the Mets win, they're going to have a big Met contingency there. I don't know what big means to a lot of people, but you're going to have it'll be audible. It'll be audible.
Yeah, I think it would probably be about a 70-30 to start in game one because I feel like a lot of Phillies fans probably already bought tickets for game one of this series. So game one, maybe like game two, if they come back here, I could see it being really noticeable. But I feel like because it's game one, I feel like the Phillies fans already bought those tickets. So I think you'll be okay in that first game.
We'll see. I mean,
all right.
Hey, hopefully the Mets lose tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I would like to see the Mets. It'd be pretty cool to see, but you don't want those nauseating fans.
Yeah, I'm not interested in like, hey, this would be a fun atmosphere. I know it would be a fun atmosphere, but listen, I'm saying the Mets to me. By the way, they have 3 lefties in their rotation. I forgot about Peterson. That's a worse matchup for you. I'm not going out of my way to ask for the worst matchup just because I think it would be more fun.
Do the Mets have that look to them like Arizona did last year?
Absolutely.
Or the Phillies did the year before?
Absolutely. They look like a team that has just constantly, like, they've been the best team in baseball since May, pretty much. I mean, since they beat the Phillies in that game, and I was at that game. They won that game in London, and since then, they've been the best team in baseball, and it's almost like people aren't recognizing them as that. And they
San Diego, too. San Diego on the other side, they are a scary team if they get past LA.
Detroit was, 55-63, 10 games out, and no one's really taking them serious. Now they just swept Houston out, and it's like, yo, here we are. You want to start taking us serious or not? The Royals won 56 games last year, and now they're playing the Yankees in the National League Division Series. So I'm not interested in playing teams that I don't match up well with just because it's a better story.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. We'll find out tonight. They get the extra game, the only wild card series to go to a game 3 this season.
Though? I'm glad that this is the one and that there's only one.
Yes.
Okay? You get it. You can focus on it. This is the game tonight. One game for all the marbles, game 3, wild card. Listen to it on 97.3 ESPN.
Can lock right in tonight, Mike. All right, let's move along to nugget number 2. And, we've talked a lot about the Eagles and the Phillies this week. I do want to get in a little Sixers here, Mike. And, media day was this week as well. Embiid and his health. I mean, he's talked about losing 25 to 30 pounds. He thinks he could still lose more. And he talked about being right for the postseason. And, you heard the rumblings that he was frustrated. I believe Daryl Morey said it, that he was frustrated with when he went out. It was such a difference and a discrepancy that now they have Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, that it won't be such a drop off if he's to go out, miss some games and miss some time. I mean, are you okay with him missing some time on purpose this year just to get him to the postseason?
On purpose, you mean like more
time
load management?
Yeah, load management.
I know I did hear Embiid today say that the team should. He needs to let the team protect him from himself more.
Right.
He kind of acknowledged that he came back too early in the Golden State game, that he probably shouldn't come back sometimes, and that he just is so competitive that he wants to play. It's great to hear and everything. And quite frankly, in the moment when you're load managing him, you're angry. You're like, why aren't you playing? But you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with knuckleheads in the moment. I'm not a big fan of the load management. I think playing more and just getting more rhythm and getting all that stuff is, everybody's different. There are plenty of guys who don't load manage and they play all 82. We've seen it throughout history. Michael Jordan didn't load manage. He was pretty darn good from my memory. So some guys need it. Michael Jordan also wasn't 7'2", and that's a problem. I mean, he's 7'2". He was carrying too much weight, going up and down the court, more conducive to getting hurt. Whatever they've been doing in the past hasn't been working. So if they have a different plan, let's see what it is.
Yeah, and, he lost 25 to 30 pounds. Is that enough for you? I mean, he looks in much better shape than he has been before. It seems like he's taken his diet a little more seriously. And, he's 30 years old. And at this point in his career, I mean, he's 7 feet tall. He's had knee issues. I mean, this is what he has to do to prolong his career and prolong his prime at this point. If he wants to be at an MVP level, it seems like he's taken that step, Mike. And we've talked about that before. Like, he's got to do that, especially this season, heading forward and moving into the future after signing that big contract with the extension. I mean, he's got to watch what his weight is and where he is at with his diet at this point, because it's so important that he loses the weight with, not putting as much pressure on those knees that he's had a lot of injury history with. And big guys and bad knees, they don't mix well together, especially when you're aging.
Nope. And I talked about it in the offseason about him going to the Olympics, and I didn't care whether he played a minute, but being around other guys who have won, and you wonder how much that rubbed off on him, of other guys telling him, yo, Joel, you could be awesome, man. You just need to, did they push him a little bit? Did he get something? Did somebody get to him that really helped him kind of like something click for him by talking to the Durant and the LeBrons and, the group of guys that he played with, Steph Curry at the Olympic Games? That was one of the reasons why I thought it was beneficial for him to play in the Olympics, not because I cared whether the Olympic game is just not a great style of game for his, a big man. It's not a big man style of game so much, but is that something that kind of, because I talked to Gershon Yabusele yesterday, and I said, did he appear when you got to training camp to be does he look different than he did in the Olympics? And he acknowledged, yeah, for sure he does. So when he left those Olympic games and came back, he obviously put himself into another gear.
Yeah, he definitely did. And it seems like all that being around all that greatness, right? With all those star players has kind of rubbed off on him a little bit, like seeing like, okay, championship ready. Like this is the year. He has the MVP, he has the accolades. It's now really time to focus on winning a championship. You don't have to worry about the MVPs anymore. That's done. Enough is enough. And now if you're able to manage your workload a little bit, you have Paul George, Tyrese Maxey. This is one of the better rosters he's had in a while. If they're able to stay healthy as a unit for the most part and get into the postseason healthy, they will be all right. And that's what you're looking forward to if you're Joel Embiid. I mean, having Paul George there and Maxey, that is huge. It could take a little bit of pressure off of him as well.
Yep, and we'll see. They start in 20 days. By the way, we forget, you just said Joel Embiid's 30. You forget, like, you hit a maturity level. You start to get a little bit more, and he has a kid now, so you wonder if he has different priorities. But, hey, listen, this is he's run out of time, Joel. We know that.
And being around LeBron, I think Mr. Longevity himself, I mean, LeBron's been around for a while. He's the last player from his draft class still in the league, and he's still playing at a high level. I think being around him, I think that's like
all
huge
those guys.
Because he's been in the league forever.
All those guys. I mean, LeBron, Steph. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Him being in the Olympics, playing with those guys, being at practice with them every day. And I'm sure they busted his stones about, hey, we all have championships. You don't. So I'm hoping that kind of resonated with him.
Yeah, it seems like it may have. All right, final nugget of the day. Sticking a little bit with Embiid, he praised rookie Jared McCain so far here in training camp and said, quote, he's probably our best player has been Jared McCain, end quote. That comes from Embiid's mouth. Now, I'm curious to see how they utilize McCain this year, how much run he will get. If he's
probably our best player,
I mean,
he said?
Yeah, Embiid said that.
That's hyperbole.
I can't. Is he knocking down threes or not? I mean, if he's knocking down threes, I mean, it might show that, hey, he's impressed from the rookie. He get more time?
Impressed, but to say he's the best player,
he's not literally probably the best player, but he's probably been impressive in camp.
Yeah,
that's the gist.
That's different. If he says, hey, man, we got something here, we think he can really help us, as opposed to he's better than Tyrese Maxey. Get the heck out of here.
No, I'm sure he's just saying that. It's a little hyperbole, like you said, but it means he's having a good camp. I mean, he wouldn't just say that out of nowhere. It means that McCain has been impressive so far. I'm just curious to see how he fits into the rotation. Like, is he going to go down to the G League at all? Is he going to be just sitting on the bench for a while? I'm just curious to see how Nick Nurse utilizes him shooting the three, because that's essentially what he's going to need to do this year if he wants to get minutes.
I don't see a spot in the rotation unless this guy comes in as all of a sudden Steph Curry just banging threes. Like, he didn't impress me enough in the summer league to say he's ready to come right in, step in, and have a role. They just have too many veteran pieces on this team that I find it hard to believe he's going to get regular rotational minutes. But it's good to hear that, hey, he's really impressive and he's been good, but I just don't see where he gets time on this team to make an impact right away. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope you got drafted a guy in the first round. You hope he comes in and helps you out.
Yeah, I'm curious. When I saw that quote from Embiid, I was like, how about that? Like, he's very impressed by Jared McCain. All of a sudden coming in as a rookie, if he can knock down those threes, that's a really big deal for the Sixers. If they could get a little bit of a surprise from a young player with so many veterans on this team, he could have a little bit of energy coming off the bench. That would be a nice surprise for the 76ers if McCain can hit some big shots for him from the outside. All right. With that, Mike, that's nugget number 3 today. 3-pack of nuggets for you. Get your sauce ready. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, by the way, I'm not rushing over to the sports book over there to take Jared McCain for Rookie of the Year.
You're not rushing over there? Not going to lay it down?
Nope, but I will give you my Bet365 play of the day tonight in about 1 hour from now here on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. By the way, I gave you Iglesias last night. Another hit for Iglesias. Just keep riding that Iglesias train if you want to make. Now, the problem is the odds for him are getting too high where you're not making enough money on that. So I got to give you, if you're going to take Iglesias, I got to give you somebody else, because Iglesias by himself, it's too much of an. He's got a hit in like 20 straight games now. So we'll check that out tonight. All right, Nick's Nuggets are back tomorrow. Thanks, Nick.
All right, see you guys.
All right, this hour of the Sports Bash live on 97.3 ESPN. It is brought to you by Jersey Cow, a great place for the family to hang out and eat ice cream. Jersey Cow has everything homemade, small batch right here in South Jersey with only the best ingredients. Northfield, Brigantine, locations. Ice cream is a year-round thing at Jersey Cow from noon to 10 a.m. every single day. All right, when we come back, it is One Thought Every Game with Casey Joyner from The Athletic. One Thought Every Game on the Week 5 schedule. We'll get his thoughts on that coming up. Plus, we're going to ask him about what he sees. Is this a coaching problem or a quarterback issue with the Philadelphia Eagles? Through 4 games, we're at the quarter point of the season. By the way, Pro Football Focus named 2 Philadelphia Eagles to their quarter point all-pro team. You know who they are? Check it out on our website, 97.3.
Oh, Saquon's got to be number 1. He's got it.
You think he's one of the 2?
Got it.
Check it out on our website, 97.3ESPN.com. 2 Eagles were named to the Pro Football Focus all-pro team for the first 4 games of the season. Check it out at 97.3ESPN.com.
Wildcard Thursday on ESPN Radio.
Mitchell, a 2-run homer, and the Brewers have the lead. It's 5-3, and this place has come unglued.
The New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers head to Game 3 of the best of 3. A trip to the division series is on the line. Game 3 of the Mets and Brewers.
It's Brewers Mets Game 3 on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 7 p.m.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card, good for use, at Provenza Restaurant and Event Center on Wellington Avenue in Ventnor for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
Seizethedeal.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-488-2594. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-488-2594. That's 800-488-2594. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Extravagant, luxurious, lavish. The $7 Lux Cravings Box from Taco Bell satisfies all your crunchiest, cheesiest, sauciest cravings. Indulge in a beefy 5-layer burrito, chicken chalupa supreme, Doritos Locos Taco, and chips and a drink for an unluxurious price. It's Lux for less. Get yours today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Drinks excludes freezers. Tax extra.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Well, I do now. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that. Did you say I just said that? Yeah, I'm cutting you off. Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings of the season. Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more, all at prices that will let your budget relax right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $200 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bet. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Your business is your passion. It's a huge reason you get out of bed every day. But if you have a bigger vision for your business, it's time to make the experts at Town Square Media a part of your team. Why? Because at Town Square Media, they have the most advanced advertising tools. Business, finish 2024 strong and increase your sales all throughout next year. Now is the time to turn to Town Square Media. For one day only, you can enjoy deep advertising discounts on their top stations. You know the ones your potential customers listen to every single day? And they don't do just radio. They have amazing digital tactics to help maximize your reach and target your exact customers. If you're thinking bigger for your business, then it's time to think Town Square Media. Take action and go to townsquaresouthjersey.com to request information on their customer appreciation sale. That's townsquaresouthjersey.com.
This is South Jersey Sports Leader, 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. This is the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Mike Gill.
His average time to throw is 3.1 seconds.
Dan.
That's an eternity.
Okay, so teach us something, because you know this and no one watching knows this, and even I don't know this. Is that on him? Is that on the coach? What is it on? What creates that?
I think it's way more on the coaching and what they're trying to do than Jalen Hurts.
That was Dan Orlovsky on Get Up this morning. He says what is going on with this Eagles offense is more on the coach than it is the quarterback. This Casey Joyner from The Athletic see the same thing when we talk about the Eagles' issues. Is this more on the coaching or is this more on the quarterback? The old conversation when teams struggle, Casey Joyner, we always look to point the finger. Is it coaching that's the Eagles' problem right now, or is it quarterback that's the Eagles' problem right now?
I'm going to go probably if I had to lean anywhere, I'm going to lean more on coaching. Although it's tough because if you're the Eagles, you walk into the season and you go, all right, what are we going to be? Yeah, I'd say this all the time. Bobby Bowden's old saying, we want to be a great run team, good pass team, great pass team, good run team. You can't be both. Well, I think they came into this year, they got Barkley and they got Kellen Moore, and we're going to be a great run team, and we're going to be a really good pass team. But then you lose Smith and you're losing Brown and you don't have them. And you go, okay, well, is that why Jalen Hurts is 23rd in the league in vertical yards per attempt? That's probably a big part of it. And so you really can't be the team that you want to be because you don't have what you need on offense, what you need from receivers. But I still think that I still wonder if the Eagles really want to be a run-first team, which is a big part of it.
Yeah, and I think part of his assertion, or Orlovsky's anyway, was that, hey, you are facing a Tampa Bay team that has pass rush, and you throw the ball 7 of 9 times when you don't have Smith and Brown. That's on your coaching game plan, and that, you're putting the guy in position to fail without his receivers and asking him to throw 7 times in the first 9 plays of the game. Is that fair?
I keep coming back to the idea that part of it might be I really think this is the case. I think Jalen Hurts wants to be a passing quarterback. Mind you, I know, obviously, I don't know, speak for the guy because I don't know him and never talked to him, but the idea that you've got his skill set and that you want to just be a drop back passer, we kind of saw the same thing from Lamar Jackson last year. It's like, we're going to throw for 6,000 yards. It's like, you're in a run offense. You can throw for 30 touchdowns. In Lamar's case, you can win multiple MVP awards in this offense. Just enjoy what this offense is. But I think that there's an idea. A quarterback always wants to be, like Bill James used to say about pitchers. It's like, yeah, you try and get, try and hit it around the strike zone, all this, that, and the other. So, pitchers have strong arms. They want to throw that fastball. They want to show people that they can throw that fastball. I think that's what Jalen Hurts wants to do. He wants to be a pass first guy. And the Eagles organization, they have the idea that analytics says pass. And it's like, yeah, but you guys went to a Super Bowl with run first. And so I think I get the sense that there's still that organizational tug and pull that, hey, we need to keep throwing the ball. We need to keep doing those things. And you need to get behind the idea of what you are, because if you're a run first team, be that. And then, you can still throw 30 touchdown passes if you get the right situation.
Well, that's interesting. Our friend Sal Palantonio just emailed me this about 5 minutes ago. Some trends coming into the season right now. The competition has never been tighter. More games have been decided by 8 points, 7 points, and 6 points at this point of the season than any other ever. League-wide scoring is at a 14-year low. Running the football is at a 36-year high, and passing the football is at the lowest point in this century. So you talk about the analytics and all these things that you've compiled, but all your data that you compiled, is it becoming antiquated as this league is starting to kind of change over in real time?
When you've got Skylar Thompson, Tyler Huntley, Will Levis, you've got some of the quarterbacks we've got in this league right now. The quarterback play in this league has dropped. I agree with what Tom Brady says about quarterback play, by the way, that you need to see development in college, and that's part of what's impacting the pros. Bill Parcells used to say that he had his Parcells rules, and one of his rules was that he wanted the quarterback to have been a long-term starter. He wanted the quarterback to have put in years in college, because basically NFL coaches say, we don't want to have to train you from scratch. You're seeing guys like, Jaden Daniels, and you're seeing Caleb Williams. They're coming in the NFL, and they got tons of talent. They don't have a lot of experience, so that's part of it. But when you come from the Eagles' perspective, you go, okay, fine, the league is running, and do you want to be a passing team and the rest of the league is running? It's great if your receivers are healthy, but you brought in Barkley, you brought in Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore can be a great run play calling coach too. You brought in Barkley. You didn't bring him in to be a counterpunch guy. You brought him in to do what the Ravens are doing with Derrick Henry. You brought him in to be that guy. So I think like I said, that comes down to that whatever the league is doing, what you plan to do as a team and an organization, you better stick with that. You better stick with that plan because you got to be patient with the running game. You can't just give up on it after a drive or two or something because that's when you get into these problems.
And Casey, this is kind of wrapped into the Eagles' issues on defense. Is Vic Fangio is running the defense that is more kind of saying, "Hey, we're not going to give up the big play. You can throw the ball underneath. We'll come up and tackle you." Where these teams are saying, "All right, you can't tackle because no one can tackle in this league. The tackling's so bad." And that means we can run the ball on you because you're so concerned about the pass getting over your head. And it seems that style of defense, teams have now it's like the Tampa 2. That was the in vogue defense for about 5 to 7 years. And then everybody starts doing it. And teams have said, okay, you're going to do Tampa 2. We got offenses to figure that out. Has teams in this league, there's a lot of Fangio disciples around, have started to figure out that style of defense.
You could do a lot of different things within that particular scheme, though. If you decide that you want to stop the run, you decide that you want to do different things to do that, you can. I don't think the Eagles have good enough pass rush. This is what it boils down to. You can't be as bad as they've been rushing the passer.
Problem.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't do it. And the thing is, you're Fangio, if you don't have the guys who could do it in the front four, there's the philosophy of, okay, well, hey, you keep the old Wade Phillips philosophy of, if I can't get a pass rush of 4, I'll bring 5. I can't get a 5, I'll bring a 6. I have to get a pass rush. You can do that, or you can try and sit back and play this kind of bend but don't break defense. You can make an argument for both things, but one of the best things you could do to protect your defense is to have a running game that makes sure that you're not on the field as quite as often as you were if you were trying to use a fast-paced passing attack and things. And so I think part of it is the Eagles can go with, hey, we need to grind the ball and slow the game down. I think that's a big part of it. And plus, I still think Fangio's system, I think it'll be even better when the defense gets adapted and adjusted to it. But because of what's happened on offense, and they haven't been able to say we want to be in a consistent style of game plan because they're having to adjust based on what the offense is doing because it's a complementary system.
One thought every game with Casey Joyner. It's brought to you by Elite Acura. Score incredible savings all month long at Elite Acura. Visit them on Route 73 in Maple Shade or online at EliteAcura.com. All right, one thought every game. Eagles have the bye this week, so let's dive into Week 5 in the NFL. It starts tonight, and you can listen to this game in progress on 97.3 ESPN. We'll pick it up after the Brewers and the Mets. It's the Bucs and the Falcons, two teams that have beaten the Eagles. The Buccaneers are seeking to start 4-1 or better for the 6th time in franchise history. They are 6-2 against the Falcons since the start of the 2020 season. They average 30 points a game against Atlanta. So, do the Bucs roll in Atlanta and get a win on the road?
You look at Atlanta, you talk about the Eagles not playing up to their talent level, and you look at Atlanta, Bijan Robinson, Kirk Cousins, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, they've got other people too. I mean, that's a pretty talented group, and yet they're near the bottom of the league in offensive points scored. They're just not playing to their talent level, and part of it is they don't have a good offensive line, and I think Cousins, what he was in Minnesota, we're seeing Sam Darnold there. It's like, maybe the Minnesota setup in that whole situation made Cousins look a lot better than he is. Tampa, though, they're doing great on offense, and they're not even throwing vertical anywhere as near as they used to. They have Evans and Godwin doing very well, and now they've got a dual backfield of White and Irving. I think they're going to put some big points. I'll take Tampa.
All right, likes Tampa in that one. Let's go over the pond to London, 9:30 on Sunday morning. Of course, don't forget, it'll be Aaron Rodgers and the Jets taking on those Vikings. Vikings are looking to be 5-0 for the first time since 2016. They finished 8-8 that year, though. So, are we about to see the beginning of the decline for Minnesota, or do you like them to go 5-0?
Jordan Addison was added to the offense last week, and he didn't get utilized that much, and he still scored a couple of times. They've got upside in this offense. Imagine what Minnesota is going to be when they get Hawkinson back, too, which they might get in a couple of weeks. Brian Flores is a really creative play caller. Yeah, LaFleur scored some points on him late last week, but he's really creative play caller. You've got what they've done on offense. Jets are a great defense, but Rodgers looked positive and pedestrian last week. And Sauce Gardner, by the way, he's allowing a double-digit yards per target this year. We all know he's better than that, but he's not playing particularly well. I don't like that as a weakness in Jets defense to take the Vikes.
Minnesota 5-0, says KC Joyner. One thought, every game, Panthers and Bears. These two teams have an interesting trade that has impacted this game a little bit, wouldn't you say? The Panthers are averaging the 5th most yards per game with Andy Dalton. They were the worst in the league with Bryce Young. So are yards going to be big for the Panthers in Chicago against the Bears?
Andy Dalton looked good last week. Again, it's the Bengals defense. They're not that good. They've got some weaknesses we'll talk about in a second, but I mean, he's making them better. But if I look at these groups, these teams, I'm going, okay, look at each platoon. Which one? Chicago's got a really good defense. I think it's the best platoon out of all of that, and I think it could slow down Carolina. And Caleb Williams is starting to look better. He's still not playing at Jaden Daniels level, but he's looking better, playing better, looking more comfortable. Again, you've got young quarterbacks, you get them playing time, get talent, and they'll start to look a lot better. So I like what he's doing there, but I'll take the Chicago defense of being at home as a tiebreaker for the Bears.
All right, Bears, they won the trade against the Panthers.
Yeah.
They look like they'll win the game as well. All right, Ravens and Bengals. The Ravens swept the Bengals last season. They have not defeated Cincinnati 3 straight times since a 5-game win streak all the way back in 2018 to 2020. So do the Ravens make it 3 straight against the Bengals?
It's awe-inspiring. I've watched that play again. I mean, Derrick Henry, 6'2", 247. He's outrunning the Bills secondary. And man, that size should not be able to run that fast. It's an awe-inspiring thing. The thing is, really, the Bengals, I showed it to my son. He's a Bengals fan. He's not very happy about it because the Bengals have nothing on run defense. They're so banged up front, and they have trouble tackling too. So I think he's going to run for a lot of yards. And again, imagine that they can that alone to make their offense dangerous, and you have Lamar Jackson playing very well as well. And they're doing all this, and they're not getting anything from Mark Andrews, who's just disappeared. Imagine if they actually start getting him back into place. Burrow will turn it into a shootout because Ravens have some coverage weaknesses. So you're going to get a really high-scoring game, but Baltimore can run and pass, and Cincinnati just can't stop the run. I'll take Baltimore.
All right, likes Baltimore there. One thought every game. Let's go to New England. The Dolphins and the Patriots. This game's like 6-3, it feels like. The Dolphins are 1-6 when someone other than Tua plays quarterback for Mike McDaniel. Of course, Tua will not play in this game. So do the Dolphins find a way to finally win a game with someone else under center, or will the Patriots be victorious at home?
I know I've mentioned this game before. I go on YouTube, look at a 1977 Atlanta at Buffalo game. It's got to be the most boring game in NFL history. 3-0. It is atrociously bad. The quarterback, it's got O.J. Simpson, and they still can't get any offense done. But this Tyler Huntley and Jacoby Brissett, they both are terrible. The Dolphins can't get anything done. I think this game this week, I think it'll be 6-3 maybe. But if I have to take the 2, I mean, it's just crazy. But Brissett can do a little bit. I don't think Huntley can. Huntley can run a little bit, but so can Brissett. But Brissett can actually get something done through the air. I don't think Huntley can, so got to take New England.
Unbelievable how bad the Dolphins are without Tua. I don't know if that says how good Tua is or how bad the other guys are. Which one?
I think it says how good Tua is, but again, you can't if you build your offense around him and you've got no backup plan, that's that's bad for McDaniel. It's the sort of thing that if the Dolphins season falls apart and I'm not saying they would, but if they did fire McDaniel, it's like, hey, you or whoever is in charge of your personnel, whoever made the call that's what your backup plan was going to be, that's on you. You got to have a better backup plan than that, especially when you get a banged up starter.
All right, one thought every game. Let's go to Browns and Commanders. All of a sudden, the Commanders 3-1 this season. They have not started 4-1 since 2008. Did the Commanders get there?
Jaden Daniels looks fantastic. He's got offensive rookie of the year. He's either going to be him or Neighbors, and with Neighbors being hurt, I mean, Daniels is starting to look like he's going to get there. He's a dual threat. He's doing great on the ground. He's destroying fantasy leagues. He's one of the best fantasy quarterbacks around. And again, McLaurin, 11 catches, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns over the past 2 weeks. Those guys are going to get even more in sync. It's going to be a huge thing for them. Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, I think, thrown for 200 yards in a game this year. They don't have much of a ground game, and they should be much better than they are. Washington's defense is bad, but I think Daniels is a difference maker. Cleveland can't give up. I'll take Washington.
All right, Commanders would be 4-1 with the win in that one. Bills and Texans, this one should be a lot of fun. The Bills are seeking their 5th 4-1 start in the last 6 years. The Texans seeking their best start through the first 5 games since 2012. They were 5-0. So what gives in this one?
Yeah, it's going to be that's the closest game on the board possibly. It's only a 1-point spread in favor of Buffalo. Josh Allen didn't play well last week, but Baltimore, especially when you get out to a lead, they're a team you can't play from behind against, and it's tough. But Houston doesn't present the Bills with the same problem. They're going to get Mixon back this week, probably. My fantasy team hopes so. But the Texans, they've got a fantastic aerial attack, and you can try and get into that kind of a shootout game with Buffalo. If that happens, I like Houston better just because they've got a lot better receivers. And Buffalo's got Allen, but again, Stroud's pretty good, and I think that Houston they're almost as good on defense. They just have a lot better receivers. So I take Houston, but boy, it's like by the smallest of margins.
All right, Colts and Jags. Obviously the Jags have really struggled here. The Colts, you put Joe Flacco in, and voila, all of a sudden they look pretty good. So I don't know who goes for the Colts, but Jacksonville has yet to win. Is this the week that finally ends?
Well, Jonathan Taylor, will he play? Does Richardson play? I mean, you've got Flacco there. Again, imagine the Dolphins of Flacco. What they would be like. Flacco should be making $15 million a year right now because he can keep teams from having their seasons fall apart. Jacksonville's got plenty of problems. The thing is, though, I've mentioned before, Jacksonville's not my favorite city, and it is not Indianapolis' favorite city either. 9-game losing streak at Jacksonville. We've known some of the games that they've gone in there, and they've looked, hey, they should win this one. They've got a much better team. I think they think that is a jinxed road trip for them. And honestly, I don't think if they had GT at full strength and Richardson at full strength, I would take it differently. But the injuries that they have and all that, and Jacksonville fighting, Peterson fighting for his job, I'm going to take Jacksonville because Indianapolis has to show that they can beat that jinx, and I think it's going to rattle them.
All right, one thought every game. Raiders and Broncos. Broncos have won 2 straight on the road. Now they're at home, but the Raiders have won 8 straight games against the Broncos. How about that one there? Does the Raiders keep that streak going, or the Broncos make it 3 in a row?
The Broncos, their defense right now, if it's not the best in the league, it's like it's easily top 10, might be pushing top 5. That's the sort of thing that can break streaks because you've got that kind of they've got a tremendous pass rush. They're very good in coverage. I mean, this is a defense that can really start to put its stamp on some things. And the Raiders, I mean, I just wrote a thing for The Athletic, a little spot about what would happen if Adams got traded. I mean, you're talking about benching Minshew for O'Connell. It's a soap opera. Players, everybody's making business decisions. I just look at that and go, man, I know the Raiders. I know the jinx and all that they have there, but they got to go to Denver, and Denver's got that defense. So I'll take Denver just because I think the Raiders. There's no reason they should be falling apart, and it speaks very badly for them that they are.
All right, one thought every game. Niners and Cardinals. A lot of division games this week, by the way. Niners are 4-0 versus the Cardinals the last 2 years. They average almost 40 points a game in those games. So do the Niners, again, put up a big number against the Cardinals, who gave up over 40 last week?
I've been picking the Cardinals a couple of times in the first 4 weeks because they're well coached and they fight really hard, and they're going to play to their talent level, and that can win games in certain situations. This isn't one of those situations. The 49ers are that much more talented, and maybe they have Kittle this week, maybe they don't, but they can always get Ayuk more involved in the offense. They've got Juwan Jennings now to go along with Debo, who was utilized last week and can be utilized even more. They've got Jordan, the running back. They've got Mason. Thank you, Jordan Mason, the running back. And Purdy hasn't even played as well as he can. You add all that together, and it's like this team is already putting up the kind of punch they can. He can do even better. I'll take Niners big in this one.
One thought every game. Packers 8-1 versus the Rams dating back to 2007. So the Rams 1-3 start to the season. A loss would be the worst 5-game start in a McVay season. That goes back to 2017. It would be their worst start since 2014. So do the Packers bounce back with Jordan Love? He almost threw for 400 last week in a loss, but the Rams are banged up all over.
They are. And, the Packers got out to a bad start last week, but they kept fighting. And if you can put up 29 against the Brian Flores defense, and I don't care if some of that's in garbage time, you put up 29 against that defense, that's saying something. And I think that now that Love has gotten the, okay, hey, I'm off the injury start and all that and back to full strength and all that, he's got even more receivers than thinking. Now they got Tucker Kraft. I mean, our great receivers. Now Tucker Kraft's going to step up. You had to lose Watson, but that's still a really talented offense. So the Rams, I just look at offense, they've got Kyron Williams, and he should have a pretty good game. I can't see them keeping up in a shootout because, look, Jordan Whittington, they got nobody's in the receiving course. I got to take Green Bay pretty big.
One thought every game. Casey Joyner from The Athletic. Seahawks, Giants. Seahawks are 5-1 in their last 6 meetings with the Giants going back to 2013. Geno Smith. I bet you the Giants wish they had Geno now.
Yeah, Giants wish they had Geno. Think about it. They've got Sam Howell on that roster too. Imagine the Dolphins had Sam Howell, who led the league in passing yards for a time. So, New York's going to go in there. Malik Neighbors is playing great, but there's a chance he doesn't play this week. I think he missed practice again today. In fact, there's a good chance he's not going to play this week. It's going to help Wan'Dale Robinson's fantasy numbers. He's been a really good pickup and things, but you can't really funnel your offense through him. In Seattle, you've got Kenneth Walker coming back. He looked great last week, scoring touchdowns. You've got Metcalf off to a great start. You've got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who might be taking over the number 2 spot from Metcalf. You've got a lot of from Lockett. You've got a lot of talent in that offense, and it's in Seattle, so I'll take Seahawks big.
All right, Sunday Night Football, one thought every game, Cowboys and Steelers. Man, if this was the 70s, it'd feel like a Super Bowl potential here. But the Cowboys seem like they're going the wrong way. Their defense is all banged up, but they're facing a really good defense, but not a great offense here.
Not a great offense, but Justin Fields is looking more comfortable by the week. They're starting to incorporate his rushing skills, and that's making him one of those dual threats we keep talking about, and that adds a lot of elements to their offense. I think the Steelers have taken some time to get to that point, but that's where he is now. And they've got Pickens playing really well. They're incorporating Freiermuth. They've got right now they're leaning heavily on Najee Harris. But they've got a lot of talent on offense. And look at the Cowboys. Yes, they've got CeeDee Lamb, but you're playing arguably the best defense in the league. Never mind last week, the Steelers had to adjust to a passing offense. It had to change the whole game plan when the quarterback gets hurt. So I think the Steelers still a great defense. And you got Zeke and Dowdle as your backs. Yeah, you got no running game whatsoever. I think it's too much of an impediment for the Cowboys. So I'll take Steelers.
All right, Monday night, it's the last one. Saints and Chiefs. The Saints have lost their last 2 games, but they still lead the NFL in scoring, almost 32 points a game. Can they get enough points against a Chiefs team that just keeps skating by?
Oh, this was a really tough game to pick because Rice is now out. They just put him on IR. You got Kelsey, who's not what he was before. He's still good, but he's not what he was. You've got Worthy, who just seems like one of those, okay, I can make a big play a game, and that's about it. Seems like one of those guys. So I know you got Mahomes. Mahomes is now, I'll use a fantasy reference here. He scored fewer than 20 points in a game for 9 straight games. It's more than double the longest streak of his career before that. So he's playing at at the lowest level he's played. But again, he's got so many problems around him and such. And now you've got Kareem Hunt being your back. It's going to be an improvement over Steele. But come on, it's not exactly a breakaway back. Problem for the Saints, they're wearing too much on Alvin Kamara. They've got Olave and Shaheed, and they can make some big plays there. But again, it's at Kansas City, and I think the Chiefs they're such good game plan callers, and they've got such good offensive defensive game plans that I think they'll be able to put up a percentage, put up enough of a game plan that can help them win. But boy, this was a really tough pick. I mean, I'm picking Kansas City by like a razor thin margin.
All right, there you go. One thought every game from Casey Joyner at The Athletic. He'll be back on Tuesday's show to look back at all the Week 5 action. And then, of course, we'll be getting ready for the Eagles and Browns next week. Browns have kind of made their way through the NFC East. They lost to Dallas. They beat Dallas. They beat the Giants. See what happens with Washington this week. And they'll play the Eagles next week. And, of course, you can hear the Eagles and Browns next Sunday here on 97.3 ESPN. Casey Joyner's back on Tuesday. Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Casey
Joyner from The Athletic here. One thought every game brought to you by our friends over at Elite Acura. Score incredible savings all month long at Elite Acura. The best bets of the weekend are here. Last week, Jeff Nadeau, he gave you 3 winners, 3-0, perfect again for the big man. He's back with 3 more college plays and NFL play. We'll get his thoughts on the game tonight, all that and more. Jeff Nadeau, our gambling expert, content creator, is up next here on the Sports Pass Live on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, and streaming live video on the X platform at Mike Gill Show. Use the hashtag SB Live.
You're listening to the Sports Pass with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Lenny Kravitz presents the Blue Electric Light Tour 2024. Live in Atlantic City, Ovation Hall and Ocean Casino Resort, Friday, November 1st and Saturday, November 2nd. Get tickets now at theoceanac.com. Lenny Kravitz, the brand new album, Blue Electric Light, is available everywhere now. For more, visit LennyKravitz.com.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Well, I do now. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that. Did you say I just said that? Yeah, I'm cutting you off. Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network. Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. NFL, the Eagles heading into a bye week, sitting at 2-2 after a loss to Tampa Bay in week number 4. Week 6 will be on October 13th. The Eagles will be home to take on the Cleveland Browns. Tonight on Thursday Night Football, Tampa Bay and Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Phillies opening up the NLDS on Saturday. They'll face either Milwaukee or the New York Mets. Those two teams play tonight, a deciding Game 3 in the wild card round. The Phillies will start Zach Wheeler in the opening game. The Yankees opening up the ALDS on Saturday against Kansas City. Garrett Cole will start the opener for New York, who took 5 of 7 from Kansas City during the regular season. The Royals are coming off a 2-game sweep against Baltimore. NHL, the Flyers play their final preseason game tonight, hosting the New Jersey Devils. Regular season opener will be on Friday night, October 11th, on the road against Vancouver. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
Earn entries for your chance to be one of the lucky winners of a complete his or hers YSL collection, now through October 26th. Show your timeless sophistication during the YSL collection drawing, only at Borgata. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Good afternoon with your South Jersey weather forecast. I'm Joe Kelly. Heading into tonight, a few clouds here and there. A low temperature tonight of 55. Tomorrow looks really good. Lots of sunshine, high about 55. And the weekend looks, well, excellent, especially for October. Sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Highs both days in the mid to upper 70s. As of right now, the next chance of rain will happen Monday morning. But after that, it looks like another dry, nice week for South Jersey next week. Enjoy your evening. That's your South Jersey weather forecast. I'm Joe Kelly.
You have the choice, whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant or buying that new outfit from a local boutique. Those choices help to put money back into your community. Town Square Media South Jersey proudly puts a spotlight on local businesses.
First Bank of Sea Isle City, Cape May County's community bank, Philly Marble and the Philly Marble and Tile Outlet, Philadelphia Avenue and Route 30 in Egg Harbor City. Visit phillymarble.com. Jenkins Plumbing and Heating. Call Jenkins for heating and air conditioning installation, service and maintenance, plumbing, or drain cleaning service. 609-641-6440 or jenkinsplumbingandheating.com. Dr. Lyle M. Back. For everything from skincare to cosmetic surgery, go to iloveLyleBack.com. And J&M Elite Contractors Roofing and Siding. Check out their great reviews at jmelitecontractors.com.
Thank you for supporting your local businesses from Town Square Media, South Jersey.
We have the perfect solution for sitting in traffic.
You come with me.
The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN.
For the Philadelphia Eagles, go with the players. Oh, Chickies and Pete's. I wonder if You're going to have the game tonight, obviously. Brewers and Mets. You can listen to the game on 97.3 ESPN. That game starts at 7. We'll see who plays the Phillies. The winner of that game tonight will play the Phillies, and that will be this Saturday at 4 o'clock and Sunday at 4 o'clock on 97.3 ESPN. Jeff Nadeau is back 3-0 last week with the plays. The winners, of course, right here on the Sports Bash at Jeff Nadeau. Follow him over there. And, of course, listen to him right here on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN. All right, Jeff, welcome back, buddy. How are you?
Good. How are you, Mike?
All is good. You know, we're sitting across from the sports book. All is well here. We're about to make a couple bucks for the people. You had a great week last week, and I know a couple more games. You got a Friday nighter. Let's start with a little Friday nighter, Cuse and UNLV. You'll actually be able to listen to that game here on 97.3 ESPN. LaQuint Allen, Millville kid, the running back there. UNLV having a really good start to the season. They've had obviously a weird story with the NIL stuff. They are a 6.5-point favorite in the game. 58.5 is the over/under. Little Friday night moneymaker, Cuse and UNLV, Jeff.
Yeah, Mike, if you go to the ESPN.com NCAA football page, there's a interesting article called "How UNLV Became the Unlikely Center of the College Football Universe." They're also ranked for the first time in a very long time. They're off a very big emotional win, a game that I think was personal for this group. Now they come back, and they're going to be very bet in the market. This number's been kind of put a little high, if you're asking me. I'd put this at 3 personally, and you're getting a Syracuse coming in who hasn't looked great this season, but they have the number 1 quarterback as far as passing in the country. This is UNLV defense that I don't believe has really been tested quite yet. When you look at their numbers, they're 88th in passing defense. I think this is a great spot, a letdown game if I've ever seen one. This is a game that, I guess matters in the grand scheme of like the national picture. And I think UNLV will win, but I had this game close. I think this comes down to the wire. I think UNLV probably wins, 24-20, 27-21, 27-20. I think Syracuse hangs here.
All right, like Syracuse with the 6.5. Also sounds like you like the under in that game as well. 58.5 on that one. All right, let's go to USC against Minnesota, which is now a conference game. Minnesota's been a play for you for, I believe, 3 straight weeks here in this segment. So it looks like you got a little something you're liking about putting them in some there. 9 is the number. Minnesota's a dog. 49.5 is the over-under.
Yeah, I'm back to the well with this group again. I think they're a good underdog bet. I look at USC and I kind of wonder, what exactly do we have here? This is not an easy trip, Mike, to go over to Minneapolis, St. Paul, that area. It's starting to get a little bit colder up in the Twin Cities. This is a guy in Miller Moss who, has been good, but this is the best pass team. It's one of the best pass defenses in the country in Minnesota. Always a very good, well-coached defensive team. Minnesota never quits. This has been a good offense. Max Brosmer's been a good quarterback for them. I think you can make the case in this game he's going to have the better matchup. This is not a real good defense for USC. If you're going to give me 9 points with a home dog, I'll be interested. I think Minnesota can absolutely win this game outright. I think there's probably a little bit of an annoyance with this group that they didn't win last week. They fought all the way back and didn't get the job done. But I think this is like a 27-24, 28-24 type of game. I think at worst, Minnesota covers. There's still some 9.5s out there. I'll grab the Golden Gophers.
All right, there you go. Yeah, 27-24. They fought back. You had them last week as well. That was a winner for you here on the Sports Bash. USC favored by 9 in that one. He likes the Golden Gophers. All right, let's go to the academies here. Navy and Air Force are the two we're talking about this one. You got Air Force, a 9.5-point dog here. Over under, though, 37. That's a low number. Navy, Air Force, 9.5.
Yeah, this isn't your normal Air Force team, Mike. Every 4 years, the Army, Air Force, and Navy get kind of beat up with graduation. Army and Navy are fine, but Air Force only has 2 starters back. All 5 starters in the offensive line are new. This group is really, really struggling. They can't move the ball. 131st in points per game, just 12.5 They only have 6 total touchdowns all season. Their only win is against Merrimack College, wherever that is. I only know where it is because I bet on them in college basketball. This Navy team's legit. They're very good offensively. They're scoring over 40 points a game. They have one of the best touchdown rates in the country in the red zone. In fact, they've scored a touchdown, Mike, on all 14 of their red zone attempts. They don't beat themselves with bad penalties. They have a good defense. This is a group that I think all of a sudden we might have to start talking about as one of the better group of 5 teams. They've already beaten Memphis. They blew out UAB last week. I mean, Mike, quite frankly, their games aren't close. They've won every game by double digits. This is a game that they lost last year. A little bit of revisionist history, maybe a revenge game for them. This is not a good Air Force team. I'll lay the number.
All right, Navy, the Middies, by the way, Merrimack, the Warriors of somewhere up in Massachusetts, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's North Andover.
There you go. Not Andover Avenue in Margate over there, people. It's Andover, Massachusetts. But, yes, the Navy Middies taking on Air Force. Go with Navy in this one. I like that play as well. I watch Air Force. They're dreadful. 37, the over-under. I probably like the over in that number because I think Navy will be able to score a lot. I don't know about Air Force, though. They might scare me. Their offense is dreadful.
It's possible, and anytime these schools play each other, I mean, it's possible that Air Force gets shut out here.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, in that game against Merrimack, Mike, I mean, they only scored 21 points. I mean, they're not exactly an offensive juggernaut.
No, you're right. I as I was talking about it, I said, actually, you know what? I think Air Force's offense is so bad they might not score in that one. All right, let's go over to the NFL. Baltimore, Cincinnati. At the beginning of the year, you would say, all right, this is going to be for supremacy, maybe in the AFC, but the Bengals are kind of pulling up the rear. Baltimore's won 2 in a row. 2.5 is the number here for Baltimore, but it's a road. They're a road favorite in this game. Over under 49.
Yeah, I got to wonder, Mike, is the seat's starting to get a little hot around Zach Taylor. I mean, this guy, all of a sudden, I know they went to, the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but that doesn't mean a lot anymore in the NFL. And they weren't great last year. This is a group that whenever you play Baltimore, if you can't stop the run, I don't have a lot of belief that you're going to have success. They're giving up over 4.5 yards a carry. Weren't particularly good last year. They don't get any pressure. I think Lamar and the Ravens continue to move the ball. And what have we seen from the Bengals? I mean, it's throw, throw, throw. Everybody's healthy now. This is again, I know they played well last week, but this is mostly a pretty bad secondary. This is a Raven group that have played some high scoring games recently. And you look at the Bengals. I mean, last 3 games, 34-24, 38-33, 26-25. I mean, the only under was a Patriot under, and that was when they didn't have Jamar Chase or Higgins, and the Patriots don't score. So I like the over here, 46.5, I believe it is. This is still a little light, I think. We're not seeing a lot of high-scoring games in the NFL, but there's been 2 teams that have been pretty high-scoring, and that's been the Ravens and the Bengals. Throw in, Mike, Baltimore, good in the red zone per usual, 6th in touchdown percentage. Cincinnati's 9th. So for as bad as they've been, they're pretty damn good in the red zone.
Yeah, scoring is at a 14-year low in the NFL. Teams are averaging just 21.6 points per game this year. So offenses have been struggling, but we'll check this one out, of course. All right, there you go. Cuse against UNLV, -6.5. Minnesota. What's that?
+6.5.
+6. Sorry. UNLV's favored by 6.5. Cuse +6.5. Minnesota getting 9 at home, and Navy laying the 9.5 against Air Force Academy. There's your college plays for the weekend here with Jeff Nadeau. Any feel on the game tonight? You got a little NFC South feel at all?
Yeah. I mean, you look at this series. I mean, it's been close. I mean, you look at the last 3 games. In fact, the last 2 games, they've been decided by 4 and 3. I think that's kind of where these teams are. These are probably the 2 best teams in the division. It seems like they're with Tampa, unless it's the Eagles. They don't play that well given the circumstance. I like Atlanta. I'm a Kirk Cousins fan. I've always been a Kirk Cousins fan. It's hard, though, to play 2 games in 5 days in the NFL. I'll look at maybe taking a shot with the Falcons, but I don't really play much Thursday night, if ever. It's not a game I have an interest in. I think Bijan Robinson could find the end zone. I'm out though. I'd lean Falcons to win and cover, but I'm not crazy about it.
Are you out on the Eagles after 4 games?
Am I out? Well, listen, I think offensively, the Eagles have a lot of things to be excited about. They've been, not great, but, again, they don't have their top 2 receivers and their best offensive linemen. So I think they'll be fine there. But defense has major issues, Mike. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, their pass rushers couldn't start at Roman Catholic for Christ's sakes right now. Their linebackers, I think, are coming back to earth. Zach Bond, secondary, Darius Slay looks 40 years old. He's doing podcasts with Cowboys. I'm like, Mike, could you imagine Reggie White, Bill Bergey, someone like that? Could you imagine them doing a podcast with a Cowboy?
No,
I mean,
Trey Thomas tweeted out this week. He said, I don't envision Lito, Sheldon Brown, Troy Vincent, and Bobby Taylor going on to Marcus Ware's podcast to say how bad Brian Dawkins played.
It's unbelievable. It's one of the most unbelievable tone-deaf things in a city that is full of tone-deaf things from athletes. I mean, Ben Simmons was the king of tone-deaf. This might be one of the most tone-deaf. And Mike, I got to tell you, I'm sure he's not listening right now, but if he is, can Chauncey Gardner-Johnson shut up? This guy gets embarrassed at least once every game. Listen, bench Avonte Maddox. I want to see Cooper DeJean back in there. Sidney Brown will be healthy soon. I want to see more Quinyon. Mike, let me ask you, why was Quinyon Mitchell not starting last week? Why did we just immediately say, okay, back to Isaiah Rodgers? Even though Quinyon Mitchell's been the best corner, we're going to start Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah, Mitchell's played. He's been the one bright spot, it seems like, on this defense. So, hey, listen, the bye week, I hate the early bye, but this team needed it. You talked about the injury.
Yes, they
You
did.
got to get this defense together. But you know what? I don't see where they get any pass rush. So,
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
A lot of high-scoring, games. The offense is going to have to carry this team as they try to, I don't know where you find pass rush at this stage of the season. But
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I'm not afraid to say it. Quinyon Mitchell, to me, seems like a real throwback to some of these guys you just mentioned. He's talking, and he backs it up a lot of the time. He's the kind of guy, I've said this before. He was at Toledo. Alabama offered him. He declined and stayed at Toledo.
Yeah.
He's, I think, one of the only likable people on this team right now on defense.
Well, then you look at Terrion Arnold and all that. He had 4 penalties in the game the other night. So they drafted the right guy, it seems like.
Mike, Yannick Ngakoue is still out there. I'm not sure that he'll do much to change. That said, I guess he's now with the Ravens. I didn't even see that. But look, he was out there. Where's Jalix Hunt? Is he ever going to start for this team? I mean, we heard how great he was coming out of East Christian. He's a 3rd-round pick, which, by the way, you gave up a 3rd-round pick and don't throw to Jahan Dotson. Where is Jalix Hunt? Is he ever going to get an elevation here?
Too small, man. That's my thought. But, hey, that was a reach pick, don't you think? They thought, hey,
well, it is a reach pick, but you don't have anything else.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Nolan Smith, another guy, can't get to the quarterback. Huff hasn't sniffed the quarterback. So, yeah, pass rush, a big problem. The problem hasn't been the pick. So, Jeff Nadeau hit all 3 last week right here on the Sports Bash. We'll do it again next week at Jeff Nadeau. Check out his Patreon site to get all his plays for the weekend and here on the Sports Bash Thursday nights. All right, Jeff. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.
As always, Jeff Nadeau, and you can check him out at Jeff Nadeau on Twitter. And there's the plays this week there, PT. Right over there. We'll go lay them right now. I like the Hughes play. Got McQuinn Allen from Millville.
We saw Navy last year. They put up about 9 points in that game.
This is a much better
That's
Navy.
Carolina.
This Navy team's much better.
Right.
Yeah, we did see Navy last year in person. Sports Bash is live in person at Chickies and Pete's, the official bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. They've got happy hour happening right now till 6 o'clock. So you're right on the back end of that happy hour. Stop in for the game tonight. Brewers and Nets. You can listen to the game right here on 97.3 ESPN. This hour of the show is brought to you by my friend Rocco and the team at Key Acura of Atlantic City. For a great car buying experience, go see Rocco at Key Acura of Atlantic City on Stone Road in EHT. Your small but friendly dealer online, KeyAcuraAtlanticCity.com. When we come back, it's the Bet365 play of the day. I gave you a winner last night. That was an easy one, though. I was just trying to make a couple bucks on a light night. I really had baseball to pick from last night. So I went with my man, Iglesias, again, for the Mets. Well, we got football in play tonight. We got baseball in play tonight. And I got another winning play. Josh will update the record on the other side. More Sports Bash to close it out on 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, powered by First Bank of Seattle City, and streaming live video on the X platform and on YouTube at Mike Gill Show. Use the hashtag SB Live and subscribe today.
We have the Phillies covered.
Swing and a drive, right field, way back, forget it, out of here. Kyle Schwarber hammers one over the right field wall.
Get the best Phillies baseball coverage on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Wrap up your workday with the all-new Chickies and Pete's Happy Hour with unbeatable specials weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Enjoy half-price orders of Chickies meaty and tender wings, one of our tasty and delicious pizzas, or an order of mouth-watering hot, cold, or fried shrimp. Plus $3 domestic bottled beers, $5 Tito's, and $6 seltzers. It's the all-new Happy Hour, weekdays, 4 to 6 p.m., only at Chickies and Pete's.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text EDGE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text EDGE to 42424. That's EDGE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings of the season. Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more. All at prices that will let your budget relax right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll will help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Save thousands at Matt Blatt Kia. Get out of your old trade today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Go to mattblattkianj.com for more details. That's mattblattkianj.com.
It's gotta be
Matt Blatt Kia.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
When I'm driving, I got a guy on the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me.
On 97.3 ESPN.
All right, we're getting ready to get out of here. It's time for the Bet365 play of the day, whatever the moment, whatever the sport. It's never ordinary at Bet365. What did we do last time? We gave you a glaze. That was an easy one. I think you went 1 for 5, but it wasn't as easy as it's been.
Listen, a win's a win. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Mike, you're 26-15 now. Good job by you, Pete. I've been saying that to Mike for years. He just looked at me like I'm an idiot.
What did you say?
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
Okay.
Dominic Toretto.
What
Pete
movie?
gets it. Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, that's solid.
Well, there's about 9 of them. I'm surprised you didn't see any of them.
None of them. I didn't see the first one. I was going to see.
Oh, you
any
might
of
have
the
stumbled
subsequent
across
ones.
it flipping the channels on TBS.
The point is, you've had 10 times.
I passed on all 10.
All 10.
I passed on all of them. Sorry. I heard that Vin Diesel was over at like the Cumberland Mall a couple weeks ago. Anybody see him over there? I heard he was at like the Starbucks at the Cumberland Mall.
Well, if you saw him, you couldn't miss him.
No, I heard he's pretty small actually.
Well, he might not be the tallest in the world, but he's pretty thick.
Sounded like that exciting.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind meeting Vin Diesel. He seems like I've heard some stories. He's apparently a pretty nice guy. So.
Yeah, no, I heard he was shaking hands, kissing babies, getting some coffee out of the Cumberland Mall. I find it odd that no one has said, wait, he was at the Cumberland Mall? That's the odd part of the story.
Yeah, why not the Deptford Mall?
Well, apparently he was in Millville doing something, from what I understand. And I guess he had to get his coffee. So he went to the Cumberland Mall, which I don't know where that is in, from wherever he was in Millville. I don't know what he was doing out there. I think he was at the racetrack out there.
By the way, I got a little story for you guys before we get out of here really quick. Before we get to your pick, Mike. I want to know who you would bet on in this competition. So I don't know if you heard, but UNLV is holding a donut eating competition at halftime tomorrow night.
Donut eating competition?
Yes.
Like the whole stadium?
No. So there's 3 people involved. So you got the competitive eater and UNLV alum, Mickey Sudo, is taking on former UNLV offensive lineman Tony Terrell and UNLV hoops coach Kevin Kruger. They're going to see who can eat the 2 dozen pink frosted donuts in the fastest amount of time, raising money for breast cancer awareness.
You know what's funny that you say that? I just found out. I said I'm going to go watch the Phillies game in Delaware. Apparently, they're having a let me get this right
A
here.
run or a walk.
Yeah, some sort of here we go. Oh, Dewey Goes Pink. It's a huge breast cancer event. It's going to be like 5,000 people who have signed up for the race. So that's good to see. Nice reason down there. So they're doing a pink donut one at UNLV. All right.
They are.
I'm going to go with Mickey Soda.
Smart move.
Yeah. Competitive eater. You're not beating competitive eater.
Who comes in second then? Is the former offensive lineman or the hoops coach?
No, whoever's the smallest. Everybody thinks the big guys are the best eaters. No, that's not the way it goes.
You're going Kruger.
Competitive eaters. It's always the small guys who are the best. Small girl. I mean, Mickey Sudo, what's 95 pounds?
If that.
All right, here's the bet 365 play of the day. I'm going Drake London tonight on the over. London tonight on the over 61.5. I like Irving tonight too. If you take his rushing receiver, put them together. What do you got? Over 54.5. So Irvin, the running back from Tampa, and London, the receiver from Atlanta. I'll put those two together. Also, kind of like Godwin over 6.5 receptions tonight. I'll throw one more in there. bonus there, I'll go with Mayfield over 22.5 completions. So there you go.
By the way, 135 for Minnesota.
Oh,
she weighed in at Nathan's side.
All right, that's it for us. Pete G is my on-site producer. Josh Evans back at the Ocean Casino Resort Studio. I'm Mike Gill. This has been the Sports Fast live over at Chickies and Pete's. As always, thanks Chickies and Pete's here at the Tropicana in Atlantic City. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Ryan Eagle here for Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. An NFC South matchup coming